and I understand blackmail and all that shit, but like to blackmail somebody, you could do it a way better way than having to destroy somebody's life as a child. You know what I mean? And the more I dig deep into that, the more I dig deeper into that, the more I see ancient beliefs and religions and what do you call that shit? Ceremonies, rituals and shit like that is
So,
involved.
You're hitting rabbit holes, and rabbit holes are dragging you deeper and deeper.
Yeah, basically.
Nice. Okay, that should be running. Everything should be recording. I feel pretty confident. I think. I'm not sure. Let's see.
I don't have a whole lot of time to play on computers or research shit. I just listen to podcasts a lot.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, I want to check that out. I want to check that out. You know what I mean? Whenever I get a chance. I don't have internet at home, so I really don't have time to.
Well,
What do you have for your phone service?
my what?
Phone service?
ATT. Welcome
Okay. Are we
to the new office.
Are we doing this?
We're doing this.
All right. So this is
Yeah,
we're going.
We're going.
All right.
We're gonna get this.
All right. I'm just
Anthony,
Hey man, yep, this is Anthony, ready for hopefully a successful podcast.
look, I've set up new software. Hopefully it works.
Hopefully.
But I've got redundancy set up in place this time. And
Man, I'm pretty crushed that our last one did not go well.
I
I
know.
mean, we had awesome conversations.
right.
We hit on some really cool points, man. It just none of it got recorded, and that's bullshit, man. I mean, it's not your fault, but that sucks.
Partly my fault because I didn't have all the
Partly, but
shit
you know,
set up properly. But now I'm learning. I'm getting
hell
things
yeah.
put in place. So.
Hey man, life is full of mistakes, man. If you don't make those mistakes, you'll never learn.
Right. So again, this is Anthony. I'm Lee. This is Chronicles of a Broken Mind. You'll find out. That's all you need to know. So you've been diving down these rabbit holes with these strange bands and things associated with the occult and ancient civilizations, along with the current power structure we're seeing.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, ever since Epstein Island kicked off and everybody has been aware of really what's going on,
Yeah.
and then Ping Pong Pizza, or Pizzagate, Ping Pong Comet, or Comet Ping Pong is what it is, with the Pizzagate scandal and the FBI releasing those documents. Well, I don't think the FBI did, but the WikiLeaks released the FBI documents showing different emails between politicians about
Right.
how many hot dogs to order and pizzas and all that stuff. And then the hold on, let me think. There's one more point I had.
Pizzagate, FBI. It's right there, FBI.gov. So let's see what's going
So
on.
there, all right. So yeah, if you look at any mainstream shit, that shit's debunked. But evidence shows that it's more likely more likely to happen or not. And I remember what I was going to say. Did I lose it again? I may have lost it again.
I don't know.
All right. Okay. So Tony Weiner, right? Politician, right?
Wiener.
It's so hard to say his name without laughing. I know, Tony Weiner, man. So anyway, they confiscated. I don't know if you remember or not, but they confiscated his laptop, right?
Okay.
The police did. And the police looked at it and they said that it was so grotesque that they had to stop watching it.
Really?
Not even halfway through. All right. And
is
this
this
what
motherfucker in prison?
I don't know. No. He's fucking walking around, fucking right now. Tony Weiner, yeah, fucking. He's related to. No, he's married, was or is married to Huma Abedin.
I don't know who that is.
Look her up.
Huma
She's
Abedin.
Huma Abedin. Yeah, she's really closely related to the Clintons and all that shit. Plus,
Aberdeen.
Marina Abramovic. She's like a head witch shit, whatever head witch.
Oh,
But anyway, so Anthony went. All right, so a lawyer came out, like a highly respected lawyer came out, right, stating that these police officers, what they saw on this computer, involved Hillary Clinton and babies, like kids, like toddlers, babies, and basically like cutting off the face of babies and shit like that.
oh Jesus.
Yeah.
And it was on a laptop.
It was on Anthony Weiner's laptop. The reason why they confiscated his laptop was because he got busted texting underage teenagers, I guess, girls.
And they're letting these people.
All right. So Mariana Abramovic, right?
Hmm.
She's like she started this spirit cooking where you have to get like semen and blood and fucking all this crazy
What?
shit. Yeah, all this crazy shit to do these fucking
Spirit
rituals and shit.
Cooking with
And she's just like
Mary. What'd you say her name was?
Mariana. I may be saying it wrong, but Mariana Abramovic. There it is. Marina.
Marina.
All right, so Pizzagate, Marina Abramovic, and Spirit Cooking explained.
Spirit Cooking was the first project Jacob Samuel produced with his portable aquatent box, working for Abramovic, the performance artist with little printmaking experience in her Amsterdam studio. The artist chose to make cookbook writing a series of aphrodisiac recipes that serve as evocative. Evocative. I'm not very smart. Instructions for actions or thoughts to allow the artist to create
This isn't.
accompanying.
All right, this is not. This is not explaining anything. Honestly,
Yeah, it's not.
honestly, it's not. But anyway, okay. So go to like.
I'm trying
go,
to use
go, all right,
DuckDuckGo.
go to What do you think? Go to celebrity celebrity spirit cooking, and it should like show where. I don't know if you remember this picture or not, but I remember it had like a bunch of celebrities like Will Ferrell, and I remember him there. But anyway, they'd have like these human. I don't know if they're real humans or mannequins or what it is, but they lay it out on the table naked with food all over them. You know what I mean? That's kind of part of it.
Well, we got a little YouTube here.
Oh, you got YouTube?
Yeah, let's see what this is all of.
All right.
I guess it's somebody just talking about it.
Yeah.
Pictures
Go
and
back
shit.
right there.
Okay, so oh my what?
Yeah. So that's kind of it. But yeah, they go to weird shit like that, and I think she's kind of like
So
And all right, so Marina Abramovic is real closely related to fucking what's her name, the Clintons. Okay, where they had in the WikiLeaks, yeah, see shit like that. You know, that's the kind of shit they're involved in. You know what I mean? So you get these like highly elite people to come and have dinners like this. You know what I'm saying? And they claim, you know, they tell people it's art, but what the fuck? Like right here, she wrote this shit. You know what I mean? Like
with
this
a
is her.
sharp
That's her right here. Here,
knife cut deeply.
go back down. Wait, no, stay there. All right, up. Take your, yeah, right there.
Which
Look at that one. Yep, that's her. That's her right there.
So this?
Yeah, look. All right. So that's her. Look, see, like, why they always fucking put children in this shit, man? Like, leave the goddamn kids out, dude. But anyway, that's her. Right there.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Weird people laying on tables with skeletons on them, and so there obviously is some strangeness going on. I mean, you've got.
So
here's what the fuck?
There's Fauci right there, I think. Yeah. So she's highly into that shit, and that's what's her name, Gwen Stefani, right?
So they made a cake out shaped like a person,
Yeah.
and then they eat it.
Right.
I don't know. This looks
So-
like she's superimposed. That it looks like Gwen Stefani superimposed over the top.
But you know what's crazy is that she married Blake Shelton, and they live in here in Oklahoma now. Isn't that
they got
weird?
married here.
They get married here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? Isn't that fucking weird?
Very strange.
Yeah. Is she trying to get out of that shit, or is Blake Shelton deep into that shit?
I
don't know.
know. That's just.
I mean, like what? Like I don't. I mean, if that was a Halloween party, maybe. But you know what I mean? Like.
yeah, this is just normal.
So Marina Abramovic, like whenever she was like up and coming, whenever she was younger, she did this experiment. She called it an experiment where she went out into public, and for a certain amount of time, she let people do whatever they wanted to her, and she would just stand there and take it.
Oh, I
You've heard about that?
For some art.
That's her.
thing, Yeah.
Yeah, that's her.
Okay.
And a lot of people say that. Look at that
Do
weird
anything they wanted. I
Anything.
heard people did like sexual shit to her.
At first they didn't. At first it was like real mild or
Yeah.
whatever, you know what I mean? And then it's kind of like herd mentality, you know what I mean? One person sees somebody do something fucked up, then they just
Right.
kind of leveled up, and they got pretty fucked up at the end, right? But a lot of people saying that was a ritual. I don't know, like a magical ritual or whatever, or an
Right.
initiation. I don't know. I'm not into the occult, and I don't want to be, but fuck that, dude.
Well, it's so interesting that the powers that be, the most popular, I guess you could say, politicians and
Right.
People in powerful positions are involved in the shit and connected directly to these fucking weirdos.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy, man. And all right, so I believe that
Hey, look, that's
I believe these.
Crowley, isn't it?
Yes, Aleister Crowley. So I believe that these people are not related, but they have deep connections to, celebrities have deep connections with, all right, Hollywood has deep connections with the politicians in Washington, D.C.
Oh, of course.
Washington, D.C., all of them have deep connections with the Vatican. Okay.
Right.
And then they have deep connections with London, who control the banking system, I think. Right? So my point on this is...
So it's a redirection from the Federal Reserve then?
No. All right, so I don't have a point about that. I'm just saying I think they're connected with them too, which is the Rothschilds and shit like that, which if you look in the 70s, they had a huge Rothschilds party. You ever seen Eyes Wide Shut?
Yes.
Eyes Wide Shut is based on the Rothschilds parties that they would have.
Oh, really?
Which obviously they're having more parties than that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So go to Rothschilds party, whatever. All right, and this was in the 70s where they wear all those fucking crazy masks, but they still do that shit. But anyway, back to what I was saying about the fucking...
Oh, I'll be damned.
Yeah, that was in the 70s, bro.
Huh.
So each one of these, from what I understand, each one of these masks represents something, like in magical terms. And you know what I mean? I don't mean like stupid magical, I mean like ancient history magical. What was I gonna say? Okay, so anyway, so let's say the Vatican. No, I'm sorry. All right, Hollywood and the politicians, right? They have deep connection with the Vatican. The Vatican holds 14 miles of scriptures and artifacts and ancient shit underneath the Vatican. 14 miles that the public cannot have access to. What the fuck do they know that we don't know about this magic shit? You know what I mean?
It's an interesting thought because when you brought up Rothschild, you look at this one right here, Jacob Rothschild.
Uh-huh.
And
120 years old.
Is that how old he is?
No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. But he's still alive and he's old.
Right.
By the way, Betty White just...
I know. Freaking 31st, she went down at 99 years old.
I think they were going to have a huge party for her that night, too. For
really?
New Year's Eve. I believe so.
Do you imagine? But look at this
had a good
dude.
life.
So, and this isn't just because he's got a 5 head. I wish they would show him from the side.
Elongated head.
Yes. So he's, again, the one thing that I dive deep into is ancient history and elongated skulls.
And I love that shit too, man, because that shit is important, dude. Because that shit, and I don't know if I said this in the beginning of the podcast, if you caught it or not, but I've been wanting to know why have like Epstein Islands and all these things. Why children? Why are you fucking with children? You know what I'm saying? And the more I dive deep into it, the more I go back to ancient history of the Canaanites and shit like that.
Right.
For sacrificing children to Moloch. Another one was Baal. Another one was Quetzalcoatl in Aztec religion. You know what I mean? They're all fucking sacrificing children to all these gods, but I think all these gods are the same fucking the same fucking god.
Right. They say Quetzalcoatl. They say even Jesus is tied to Quetzalcoatl. And
no. They compare Quetzalcoatl to Jesus, right?
Right.
They're saying that that he came to help his people out from the people having to sacrifice to these other gods, but then he fucking apparently I wasn't there, so I don't know. But then he required them to have children, or children sacrifice. So
weird.
Yeah. So
look at this. So you have, I believe this is the French president,
really,
Shimon Peres, and then Jacob Rothschild, and then
a random
normal.
It looks like wasn't it Joe Rogan's head? So all right. So another interesting fact that I don't think anybody knows is like these like elite families, including the royalty in England, Queen of England, all them motherfuckers over there. They keep their shit in the family, dude. They don't have a fucking family tree. They have a fucking family limb. You know what I mean?
It's a vine.
It's just a fucking branch. You know what I mean? It goes a long way because they don't really. I think Princess Diane was the first one.
They call it blue blood, don't they?
I think so, man. But blue and all right. So purple is the color of royalty, right? Blue and red equal purple, right?
Right.
So maybe.
Well, I've heard things about blue bloods, and I don't know anything about it. I haven't dove down the rabbit hole completely, but They say something about being a copper-based blood system rather than an iron-based with hemoglobin, which would bring forth the blue blood.
I wonder what blood type they are.
I don't know. But, silver, if you have an overabundance of silver in your system, turns you blue. Have you seen that?
Oh, you're talking about... God damn it. Colloidal silver.
Yeah, colloidal.
Yeah, colloidal silver. Yeah, man, this one dude, he took a shit ton of colloidal silver for like his whole life, and his skin turned blue.
Yeah.
Permanently. If you take it in
Look at this dude.
Yeah. If you take it, what's the word I'm looking for? What's opposite of excess?
Not enough.
If you take it every once in a while, it's
Yeah.
actually really good for you.
Well, silver is, I believe it's a natural antibiotic and
Yes,
it
yes,
sterilizes
Yes,
on its own.
yes. Hey, man, maybe that's the cure for fucking COVID. I don't know.
I don't know. Man, I rinse my mouth every single day. Every morning when I get up, I gargle with hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah. I brush my teeth with that shit. I put it on the toothbrush. Yeah.
Yeah.
Baking soda's good with it too.
Right.
I had a fucking feeling we were going to talk about that for some reason. I don't know why.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Weird.
It's that telepathy that we don't know about.
Did you know that scientists only know we can only see 5% of the universe? So there's 95
Probably less than that, honestly.
probably, but there. All right, so that
We've only explored maybe 10%, if that, of the ocean.
Okay.
So-
But what I'm saying is
The visual.
everything that holds the universe together and how it works and all that shit. We can only see we think 5%
Right.
of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's with special infrared fucking scopes and
Right.
other
Well,
shit that I don't
they
know
just
about.
released didn't release. They're flying the James Webb, the new James Webb telescope, out to the Lagrange point 2, just on the backside of the Earth.
Yeah. So
outside of
this
the
way. All right, because what they have now, the moon keeps getting in the way. So this is gonna be, from what I understand, it's gonna be like on the other side of the moon or something like that, where the moon won't block the vision.
A million miles from Earth. So basically, Lagrange points, the easiest way to do it is just pull it up here. Lagrange points are just natural places where gravity kind of coalesces and holds, and things can float there without expending much energy because the gravity of the sun and the Earth or moon or whatever massive body has created kind of a divot there in space. So Lagrange...
So does that mean the fucks with the orbit?
It'll hold it in that orbit.
I'll hold it. Okay. Well, it still kind of fucks with it then.
When you look at, here we go. There's the Lagrange points right there. So you've got the sun. On one side of the sun, you have Lagrange point 3. All the way up on this end, because of the gravitational pull of the Earth and the sun, you have another Lagrange point 2. Lagrange point 1 is between the sun and the Earth. And James Webb, which is right there, will be at Lagrange point 2, a million miles opposite of the Earth. The Earth will act like a shade for the James Webb, so that it blocks out most of the light of the sun, so that it has a more clear view to see the oldest galaxies. It's basically a fucking time machine. It's a $10 billion time machine.
That's amazing, dude. All right, so I think I could say that another way is that you won't have the light pollution block. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome,
that's exactly what it is. And then they've got this really ingenious heat shield that they put on it to help distribute the radiative heat and all of that stuff. Plus, it has to stay so close to 0 Kelvin in order to function optimally and keep the mirrors within their, the right shape.
You know what amazes me about I'm going to start that over again. I just learned how to talk yesterday.
Me too.
Yeah. What amazes me about this, about us sending like these satellites and shit like that to space, is the fact that we can communicate with them that far away.
Well, you got to think of the speed of light, how fast that is. 386,000 miles per second, something.
Why is my Boost fucking mobile shitty phone? I mean, it's a good phone.
Well,
shitty
it's
service.
line of sight. You run out of line of sight. And most phones aren't satellite. Yes, they run off of satellite networks, but that's because they beam from towers too. So you have to be within a range of a tower, and if that tower is blocked by anything or by landscape of any sort, then you lose the signal.
I get you, but my God, dude, like we're living old technology in our pockets right now. You know what I mean?
Oh shit! I mean, this is one of the most amazing devices. You know, could you imagine bringing this back even 100 years? And
Oh,
being
100%. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that, but
blow
I'm
your
saying
mind.
the way what we're fucking doing now and what this is,
Mm-hmm.
that's a huge gap in technology. That's a huge technological gap, I think. You know what I
Right.
mean? My opinion.
It really is.
Yeah.
Well, and the future is coming. You know, you've got
Oh, yeah.
systems like
So-
Starlink going
so
online.
Starlink, have you heard reviews? Have you heard anybody?
Oh
know
yeah,
anybody?
I've heard it's phenomenal. I mean, for the people that use it.
I've heard opposite, but I've heard that from one person. I've heard from one person that's heard from other people it's not
Exactly.
great. So,
So you're
I
third-
don't know.
Oh well, I'm still third personing
Yeah,
it, but
yeah.
I'm looking off of a bunch of different reviews,
Okay.
and then based off of Starlink directly. You know, and who knows how they're going to
Advertise it.
right.
Yeah.
You know, because they obviously would like to get the whole world on it. Once they get a full constellation of satellites, which is I think 42,000 satellites, they're in low Earth orbit, so you're looking at really low pings.
How many do they have right now? Do you have any idea?
We can look that up. I'm
All
sure
right.
it's within a couple thousand.
So Elon Musk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly is fucking genius, right? Like he's probably gonna go he's probably gonna go into history like Tesla and Howard Hughes. You know what I mean? Just fucking
yeah.
genius.
He already is because he's the richest man ever existed.
Right. It's fucking crazy.
I hate cookies. Shut up, cookies.
So anyway, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. And then
No,
I'll
you're
ask,
good to
I'll
go.
ask the question after
May
because-
26, 2021. It looks like 1735. So that was as of May 26. So I'm sure there's a bunch more since then. I don't know how often they're launching them. Yeah, Tesla are 1320. So that's a far cry from what they're looking at having in orbit. And the fact that it's working at higher expectations than they thought, and the new iterations of the satellites coming out have the ability to beam information between one another. So if you're outside of the range of one, you're guaranteed to be connected to the constellation still.
It's fucking crazy, man.
It's insane. That's what I'm switching to. I'm going straight Starlink. And, you know, I mean, Elon Musk really is this. It's our generation's genius.
Yeah,
That dude truly is. He teaches himself. Everything he's done is basically self-taught. He's a self-taught engineer.
I don't.
He's
It's
just
just
brilliant.
Like I understand being smart, but I don't understand how you could start all these companies and manage them to be so successful as they are. It doesn't make sense to me.
Determination.
Nobody can do that.
And
I
hard
don't
work.
think- I don't. Right, but that can only get you so far. That's not going to give you how many fucking
different.
companies does he own?
He's different. I know he's got Tesla, SpaceX, Boring, Solar City.
PayPal, but I think that's sold.
No,
right?
he sold
Yeah,
PayPal
he
in
sold
order
that,
to
right?
start Tesla.
Yeah. That's two totally like all these are. Yeah, you said boring, right?
Yeah.
Boring, so yeah, these are all totally different. Fucking, there's not the same.
Well, check it out. You can connect them all together. So imagine asteroid mining, for instance. You have self-driving of Tesla, which is automated. Whether or not it's on streets or not, it's automated driving. It's steering, right? So you have Tesla's automated driving that they can combine into space shuttles and spacecrafts. They're working on some of the biggest spacecrafts ever seen by man with Starship. You can launch those into orbit and fly them straight towards a fucking asteroid with boring device on there to cut a fucking hole in the asteroid, land on the bitch, and start mining the motherfucker through automated technology. And then you have Solar City Tesla, and you can run power indefinitely. You know, you connect all of his pieces together. He's just looking at, he's a fan of humanity, and he wants to see humanity because we're in such a fragile state right now. We have the ability to wipe up all life like that right now. Life could end any moment, and he understands that as an intelligent man and wants to ensure that the survival of the human species goes on, so he wants to become multiplanetary. He understands that Mars is just a jumping point, and it's maybe not as feasible, but it's still a goal to shoot for, therefore becoming a multi-planet species just in case this planet goes to shit. You know?
Do you think in the past we were? Or we are responsive to those?
Okay, so my thought process on that is if we've existed in this form for 300,000 years, there's been roughly, if you look at a 4,000-year timeline, there's roughly 75 times we could achieve this level of technology. So 4,000 years gets reset. 4,000 years of advancement gets reset.
All on the Earth.
All on the Earth within 75. So I think, especially when you look at the impacts that we have had, and we know now that 12,800 years ago, 11,600 years ago, there were a couple big impacts which kind of reset the clocks on everything, and that may have been the last ones, but we're not sure. Because, yet again, 11,600 years is long fucking time. Shit disappears. Look at a car out in a field after 100 years.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost gone. The whole entire thing takes it over. Leave a house alone for long periods of time. Just look at how long Detroit's been, you know, decimated since Motor City pulled out of there and all the manufacturing left there. You've got buildings that are basically nothing. The earth has pulled it back into itself. The only thing that stands the test of time is the hard stone and the big hard stone. And the things that we have left are those megalithic sites of big hard stone.
Yeah.
I think it's highly possible. I mean, just by extrapolating, if you just run 4,000 years, that we've been to this level of technology at least 75 times in the human lifespan. But I also think that humans weren't the only things on Earth in that lifespan that was intelligent sentient. I think we're what's left. We're the last intelligent sentient because we have Denisovians, which we know about. We have the elongated skulls in the Black Seas area. We have the elongated skulls of the Peru areas. Yeah. And the people talk about binding the skulls and all that shit. And you can, devil's advocate it with that. But they got the idea from somewhere. And they talk about star people.
Mm-hmm. Almost every ancient, right, Babylonians, Greece, Romans.
They tell stories of it. Yeah. There's writings in Vedic texts of flying vehicles. You look at God came down in a fiery chariot. So
I think they called them gods.
And they were just advanced beings.
Exactly, 100%.
Say it wasn't 75 times in 300,000 years. Say it was only 5 times, but that's still, there's 75 opportunities within 4,000 years. Every 4,000 years to reach this level. Because we know this level of technology is possible because here we are. We're streaming cameras and all this shit. So it's possible that they could have done it. And people will say, where the fuck is all the evidence? Where's the tools? Where's this? Where's that? What happens when 1,000-foot waves crash across the entirety of a continent? Shit goes away. It gets buried. It gets rolled up. And how is sand made? Sand is made through the constant waves and the motions, the waves and the motions, and that's what grinds into smaller and smaller particles, plus the diatoms and things, the little microscopic life. But still, a lot of that is quartz, and silica, which got ground down to that fine material somehow. And the finer the material, obviously, the more grinding time it's had. Yeah.
So going back to the advanced beings. Those are recorded in the most ancient texts that we have, that we know of, which are the Sumerian texts.
Yes.
Zechariah Sitchin is pretty well known for kind of trying to decipher that, but people have been doing it before that. And people in Oxford University, they've really been tackling that, and they've gotten a lot of it translated. And whenever you read those texts, it actually, they sound like they have a lot of human attributes, like emotions and desires and shit like that. They wanted women. They wanted Earth women. You know what I mean?
I think
they drank a lot of fucking beer. Apparently, you know what I mean?
Well,
they promised women certain things to make them their wives. That's what these texts translate.
The text translate, but they were also massive beings. They were bigger.
Yeah,
and people call them intellectually bigger. I call that bullshit. I think that's both. I think it's both. Intellectually larger, but you don't represent large intellects by drawing a bigger picture of a dude holding a fucking lion.
Right.
That's not showing large intellect. That's showing large brawn.
That was Nimrod.
No, Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh. Yes.
Yeah. So Gilgamesh, it shows, and they say he was a large man, larger than life, and he's holding a fucking lion. That's large in brawn, not large in mind.
Right. So these are Sumerian texts. Okay. If a lot of people claim that they're Christian or they're Catholic or they believe in the Bible. The Bible talks a lot about it in the Old Testament.
These
a lot about it
aren't the oldest texts though. These are the oldest.
Wait, what? The Sumerian
tablets? Yeah. It's
the oldest that we know of.
Cuneiform. Not really, because when you look into cave art in the old French caves, there's 20,000-year-old cave art.
Have you seen the bull with the stars? The stars inside the bull's head. They found it in France, I believe. But anyway, it's
Probably.
the fucking it's the constellations, man.
Of Taurus.
Of Taurus.
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing.
Well, that's like 25,000 years ago when we were in the constellation of Taurus.
Okay. Yeah. But how? I mean, if all they can do is fucking I don't. How do they know?
Because 300,000 years If you break it into
It
4,000
was
year chunks,
before-
75 times, you have carvings of sperm and
Yeah.
embryos and shit like that,
Right.
which you can't have without
Microscopes.
microscopes. But also more text. If you just look at Göbekli Tepe, we think it's at least 12,000 years old. That's not necessarily text per se, but we haven't dug the whole thing up. But it definitely is pictographs. It's showing something through pictures, which may be just the
True.
easiest way
Okay.
that they thought of communicating the information to the future.
Okay, so the difference between cuneiform and what you're talking about is one is actually telling a story, and the other one is what they see.
Right.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Well,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
This one's like story form. The other one is art.
Right.
Picture.
Which is kind of how I feel about the Elora and Jonta Caves when I've talked about the, impacts and the stupas looking like explosions of sorts rather than being some worship pedestal. I think,
Yeah. It's a good podcast.
that was a good one.
So, all right. So I brought up Nikola. No, not Nikola. Elon Musk. I brought him
Right.
up for a reason. Okay. So, the prior two recent geniuses of our time, Nikola Tesla
Hmm.
and Howard Hughes. He's
Mhm.
a fucking genius, fucking engineer.
Right.
Right? Do you agree?
Oh, of course. Howard
Yeah.
Hughes, and very paranoid. at
Well,
that.
that's what I was going to get at. Both of them ended up going fucking crazy. What's going to happen to Elon Musk in the end, do you think?
He'll be on Mars.
Crazy?
I don't know. I think he's already got his own little special crazy.
Right.
I think we all do.
Right, of course. But, I mean, like, if you talk to, no. If you look at a lot of, like, people who are just, like, really fucking smart, like,
Brilliant.
brilliant, beyond normal people fucking
Yes.
wavelength, they usually have something pretty kooky about them, something
Right.
off.
I
Than
think
the
it has
rest.
to do with that people talk about spectrum, because when you start looking
Mhm.
at autistics,
Yeah,
uh,
exactly.
they have, and then you also have what do they call them?
But you have a relative who's autistic, right?
A couple of them, yeah,
Couple, yeah.
yeah.
So-
I've got my
And-
nephew is and my niece is.
and they're just like brilliant. They're just brilliant or something. Or
Kobe,
gifted,
yeah,
gifted on one thing or another.
I don't know what Bella is, but Kobe is very, very, very gifted in drawing and art and
Yeah.
remembering. He can remember things like lines from a movie. He can literally, without watching a movie, he can play you line by line the entire movie, just speak it to you.
Huh.
Any movie that he's watched.
It's amazing.
So
Yeah. So it like. Yeah.
it's very
Crazy.
interesting.
So yeah, I think that's just like a overstimulation of one part of the mind and that robs from another part. That's my theory. I don't fucking know.
I don't either. I don't know much of anything.
Yeah.
I have my own theories and my
Yeah.
own thoughts.
Right.
And, who knows if they're ever going to be.
So do you? All right. So yeah, I don't know. So you think he's going to end up on Mars? I just wonder. I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he's on a path to achieve something that is achievable.
He's what, 45?
I have no idea. He
40.
seems older than that because I'm 41.
It's kind of funny because he started out bald. Now he has a full set of hair.
No, I was going to find out when the hell he did. If I ever get to talk to that dude, I'm going to
Yeah.
ask him about his hair.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you look like trash, and then suddenly you look great.
Yeah.
What
And
did
he looked
you
like
do?
shit in 20s. And he looks decent.
I
More,
know.
He looks better now. I'm not saying he looks great, but
Well,
are you looking at the age?
yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly
He's
how
at
old he is.
45, I think.
He's born in 71, so he's 52.
Oh, that's wrong. Well, you don't have much longer to figure that out. Do you know William Shatner, how old he was whenever he went to space?
90 or something?
Yeah, 90.
That's crazy.
Oh.
To be able to put up with those stresses.
100, if I remember right, 120,000 miles per minute per hour per MPH. He went fucking fast with the 5G.
17,000 is like escape velocity, I think.
Well, it was like 5G's force. 5G
Still,
force. Yeah.
5G's a force on a 90-year-old man.
Yeah, that motherfucker, he fucking shit his pants going up, I bet. Don't you think? Fucking
Or he didn't eat for a couple days prior.
Shit out guts.
Oh,
I don't know,
God.
man. 90-year-old man, dude. Something's coming out. Something's coming
My
out.
constitution isn't what it used to be, boys.
Yeah. That's funny. All right, so let's go. Can you go to Google Maps?
Sure.
And we were talking about
Or you want
crater
Earth?
impacts.
Yes.
Can you go to I think it's called the Yucatan Peninsula. Is that the Gulf of Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go there.
Which one do you want to see? Chicks Club, the one that killed the dinosaurs?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
And,
Because I have some words to say on that one.
So they All right, so let me see. I have to look it up again. But the average speed of a meteor, meteor, motherfucker.
Somewhere real
Meteor.
close to
No,
here.
Meteor.
Supposed to be. This is right around the edge.
It's
of
30,000 miles per hour, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So we're at 30,000 miles per hour for an average
Yeah, it is.
speed of a meteor.
Uh-huh.
They say that the meteor that supposedly took the dinosaur out was 7 miles wide,
Right.
right? So go to...
Look at this. This is where it's at, and this
So
is what's left of the crater.
And did you see they put a big ass fucking city on that?
Hell yeah.
Like they're like we're putting a city right there. All right, and then these ancient fucking
It's right there.
these ancient Mexico cities, like like you know what I mean? Those are on ancient fucking ruins, dude. Those must be ley lines or something. I don't know if I can know, but I think there's something to that. But anyway, okay, now go to like where you can measure over here on the left hand side.
Okay.
And measure, no, other side.
Oh, where's me? Oh, yeah, it's over here.
Yeah.
I forget.
Okay, and then measure out 7 miles.
Miles
Yeah.
from. It's basically right here at Meridius.
You could just do it. You could just do it in the ocean. It's fine.
Okay.
You know, so we could see. No, 7 miles, dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
7 miles
it
is there.
right there. Okay, now zoom out. Look, that's just a little longer than that, Doc. All right, zoom out. All right, like kind of take that line away so we can see what 7 miles looks like.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So zoom in, then zoom out so we can get like a visual. Okay, that's 7 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Now zoom out. Compared to how big that Earth is, they're saying that a 7-mile meteor. Fucking. And all right, what? Is it all right? But I'm gonna say it had to, and if it was 30,000 miles, which is, it had to have been faster than the speed of light, or close to it, probably close to the.
No, speed of light would decimate the Earth.
Okay,
completely.
no, but close to it, and it did decimate the Earth.
No, I mean the Earth wouldn't be here.
Right, like
At
these
all.
shards.
It'd be
Yeah.
that's way too fast. Moving at 30,000 7 miles. No, I believe something that large would create quite a large, because you can calculate it. You can calculate the mass based on the impact velocity, how many joules, based off of the size and the speed. But this may be what wiped out the dinosaurs. And something that big right now, 7 miles hitting us, would be very, 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 very bad news. It would create basically an atomic winter. You'd have a blanket of dust around the entire Earth.
7 miles.
Mm-hmm.
7 miles.
For
man.
sure.
That's fucking crazy. Look how big the goddamn Earth is compared to 7 miles.
It doesn't
dude.
matter. This,
I
though,
don't know.
is what I wanted to point out, is
Alright.
literally, so 65 million years ago, 7 miles happened here. Look at this. What is
Yeah.
this
I was
cut?
looking at that.
Large cut. So
Right. and it broke Cuba and Dominican. You know, it made it 2 separate
Right.
islands.
well, and you can chase it. You can follow
Yeah.
it. You can see it
To-
roll.
Yeah, Virgin Islands.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, you
boom,
think it
boom,
went from the
boom,
left to the
boom.
right, huh?
It rolled down as
Oh,
it came across. I think it came from.
Okay.
So what I think is there was something bigger that hit right there where the whirlpool of land is.
Uh-huh.
And Vanuatu, this whole area, I think, got decimated. You got boom, boom, massive hits, which threw giant ejecta, boom, this direction. And look at that. Boom.
Yeah. And
Grazing blow.
all right. So.
And then this crack here, that goes all the way around the Earth. See that crack?
Yeah.
Crack, crack, crack. Is the result of being hit on this side.
Fiji.
Yep, Fiji,
So-
Vanuatu. And if you go this way, you can see blast wave propagation.
So, listen,
blast wave. Look at that. Woof.
All right. So was that
This happened after the dinosaurs.
okay?
So this big ol' shit right here, this right here, I think, I can't be for certain,
Right.
but I feel it has to do with the 12,600 years ago, because all of this, look at this. This is clean. If this is 100 million years ago, you wouldn't have any of this cleanliness, because the impact here would have dirtied it up.
Yeah, you definitely onto something, dude.
So
There's something there.
I think this blew up. This right here, if you look at this big ol', this is the Mariana Trench right through here, the deepest part of the ocean.
Right.
I
and
think
it's
this bitch,
7 miles deep,
yeah.
I believe. Am
It-
I right?
Somewhere in that range. This flipped up like a big old flap, and it was flipping and flapping around. And as it flapped back down, look at it, painter splatter. Just if you splattered paint, that's exactly what you see right there. And it all rolls back to these areas here. And then just directly on the other side of the Earth, you have the eye of the Sahara, It's literally you can come from. It's around this area. Where is it? Right here, Mauritania. So if you come from here, you start from Nu, and then you go from the center of Mauritania, which is, look at that. It's a rippling impact. People say it's volcanic. I don't think so. I think what it is
it's a depression, right?
No, I think it is the other side because it's directly, perfectly. Watch this. When you start getting, look at that, right around that area right there. Look at that. It's a perfect area on the other side of the earth, the eye of the Sahara. So imagine something hitting so hard with enough velocity in this area to gouge out a hole to make whirlpools of land in these areas because it had to refill, which the waters flow around the world, right? And then it causes flows down through here, down through China. This is why this is all soft and you have soft beaches and stuff, because it eventually flowed back down and all the land had to fill because it was mixed with water, these holes back in, which is why you ended up with these whirlpools of land, because there's land and water mixed together refilling this giant hole. And if it created that big of a fucking hole on this side, what did it do directly on the other side? That is a direct result of an impact directly on the other side of the earth is what happened there. That's just a shoot straight through. Like when you get punched in the head and your brain goes backwards and forwards and it impacts the back of your head, same fucking thing. The brain inside the earth smashed back and forth and created these. And it hit so fucking hard, this mid-Atlantic ridge and the crack that goes all the way around. I mean, look at the motherfucker. The earth broke apart completely. You can follow this crack all the fucking way around, and it reconnects and reconstitutes itself all the way around. You come up through the fucking Red Sea, and Moses said, split the Red Sea, you know? You've got that, and that's a story in the Bible. And then you have all of it. Look at the crack all the way up here. You can see the crack all the way to the top of the planet, and it's only on the other side. So what happens when something large impacts something? We know that it creates a hole on one side, right? If you just go by ballistics, it'll create a hole on one side, and then typically as it tumbles or breaks up or widens, it creates a bigger hole out the back. Well, this didn't make it all the way through, but it had enough impact. Oh, fuck. Where'd we go? Thing screwed up. I'm going to have to reset it. It had enough impact to crack the earth apart. I think the earth broke apart slightly and crashed back together, and there was years and years and years and years
of it filling in and the earth vibrating. But the civilizations that lived on the earth, that's why you see in the Giza Plateau miles and miles and miles of underground. You have tons and tons and tons of underground facilities all around the world. You have Ajanta caves in India. You have, even in the Grand Canyon, they've been finding cave systems and shit. Let's talk about the Grand Canyon real quick, man, because I came up with something last night while I was at work, right? Mm-hmm. Grand Canyon, the first, or not the first, but the largest canyon in the United States. Mm-hmm. You know what the second one is? Palo Duro. You know where that's at? Texas. And it's directly in line. How did we don't know how the Grand Canyon was formed, do we? But they have theories, right?
Well, yeah, they say that the river carved it out over millions upon millions of years. But no, I don't think that's what happened. I think...
Is it a meteor?
I think this direct impact that I'm talking about right here, boom, caused all of it. Because, I mean, look at this. If you get in close, look at these lines. These are like shit was sitting on the ground and vibrating.
What about the tectonic plates and shit like that?
Created through this massive impact.
All right. So go. I don't know if
because look at that. There's Grand Canyon, and yeah, it partly was water, but during that big impact, you had a massive melting of up to 2 mile thick ice layer on the top of the planet, which floods massive amounts of water. Plus, you have the entire fucking whole of the Pacific Ocean basically shooting across the fucking land. You can see where it impacted the shores and blew across, and I think the impact of that is what created all these mountain ranges that you see. They created very quickly rather than over time through tectonics and plate tectonics.
So what I was going to say is like Palo Duro,
that's a different one.
Yeah, that's the second largest one.
That's the second time that's done this. It's saying we're finding out too much shit. So
yeah, I know we're getting too close to the truth, man.
Wouldn't that be fun? I better not talk about gravity, then they'll probably shoot me in the head.
Well, that's the 95% of the world that we don't know. It might work better on Google Maps instead of this, so you can like
Yeah.
actually
Well, look at this
put a
though,
line. Look, Palo Duro is like probably right here. Oh,
up in Texas.
Grand Canyon. I mean, it's a pretty. I don't know where that's.
What's it called? Palo Duro?
Yeah, PALO
PALO.
D space.
There it is, Canyon State
Yep.
Park,
Mhm.
Texas. And yeah, I mean, it really is.
Second, yeah, it's right in line, dude.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy, man. And it's not, and all right, let me look at the difference.
Yeah, I just don't see these things happening over vast amounts of time because too much happens in order. Yeah, I don't know. I just by looking at this is catastrophe. Just looking at the Pacific Ocean, this is catastrophe, massive catastrophe. It's a giant, literally the Pacific Ocean is the biggest crater on planet Earth. Look at that. There's the Pacific, and it's just, and then again, what would happen with a massive impact? You'd have a huge blast wave that would push everything very hard. So imagine this shoreline of South America being a little further over and it being pushed and then folded under like that, creating some of the highest peaks it did create the highest peaks in South America all at once as it crushed up, because as land crashes into each other from massive amounts of pressure, what happens? It builds up on itself. So you end up with these massive mountains, and then as the water floods across, what happens when you salt the land? You end up with dead land like you see through here. So this is salt water flowing, and then, why does it flow so smoothly and so far out here? And plus you have a blow through from South America to Antarctica where it used to be connected.
Huh.
Massive amount of blow through. That's pressure, dude. That's a pressure wave from massive amounts of water and pressure pushing through. And possibly even molten land because it's so close to a massive impact that who knows what the heat would be when you hit that fucking hard and how deep that is. But I'm betting there's some weird anomalous thing that hit, whatever the asteroid or this motherfucker reset again, in that area, the Vanuatu in the Peru area, or no, Vanuatu and Fiji area, it's probably still down there in the earth, just buried and mixed in with all this shit.
You know, I read a book, and I can't remember the location, but there is evidence of ancient nuclear warfare.
Right.
So
yeah, but you know what? And again, if we've reached this level of technology within 4,000 years since the last major, event reset, then why couldn't they have done it the previous 4,000, the previous 4,000, so on and so forth, up to 300,000 years of the age of man? But again, I talked about Denisovians. I talked about the elongated skull people. There's been different species that all coexisted that were sapien type species, intellectual sentient species as we are with, Neanderthal, all of them. But they lived together. And it just so happens that we're the ones that came out on top. We're just what's left. And there's a little bit of those left because we were able to interbreed, because you've got the Rothschilds with the elongated skulls and the Perez or whatever his name is. So there's potentially still the DNA floating around within us.
I think they have secrets, man. They have secrets.
For sure. Why do they have 14 miles of, unless you know what the book is, you can't look at it.
Yeah.
Under the Vatican.
Well, I'm saying I think they have their own family secrets of they know exactly where they come from, where we don't,
Right.
What's his name? Graham Hancock said we're a species with amnesia.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Or civilization with
For
amnesia. What do you
sure.
wanna call it?
I believe that 100%.
I think they hold that. I think they have the secret. I think they know. I don't know how or why or
Which imagine
whatever.
if it went further than 4,000 years. Gunny, come on, man. Gunny, enough. Come on.
Go.
Mr. Magoo, I have got to get this so it locks. This is ridiculous.
Here, man. Rubber band.
Yeah. No, I just got to fix the door. That's the plan. I've got, so what I'm going to do for the doors next is I'm going to get 3/4 inch MDF, and I'm going to put carpet on one side of it, like speaker box carpet, basically. And I'm going to screw it to one door, and it'll have about that much where it doesn't cover on this door. And then the other door will actually overlap the other door that far with MDF and carpet. And then I'm going to put the tiles, the sound tiles on the door. And I'm going to put one of those electronic where you got to push the button to unlock it, to open it. Locks up top to hold the door shut. So it'll lock up the office. The sign will be out there. People will know we're in here talking. The dog obviously doesn't, but he's just a shithead. So, no, he's a good dog. He's my good boy. He's just been a pain in the ass today.
Yeah, it happens. All right, so just quick facts.
Mhm.
The number one largest canyon in the world, Grand Canyon. We talked about
Right.
that. That is 6,000 feet. The depth is about 6,000 feet.
Damn, that's over a mile.
The second largest, Paladuro,
Mm-hmm.
800 feet. Huge difference.
Well, yeah.
Huge difference. And I wonder if they were created about the same time or at the same time or at the same event.
I think that's exactly what happened
I
at
think
that
so
same
too,
event
yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's a little further in from an impact point where things were happening in massive, massive quantities. You got Arizona over to Texas. Look
yeah,
at the
yeah.
distance.
I'm saying that's not very far away from each other. You know what I
Right.
mean? Relatively speaking to the Earth size.
And I'm saying a lot of time too. It's within the same time
Yeah,
frame and
yeah.
the distance because all this happened very quickly.
Mhm.
You know, when you start looking at this and you look at, say, the areas in here, the shape of the land looks like it could have been mixed with water
So we're talking about
and
the
shaking
desert?
and vibrating.
Okay, yeah. So California, Death
'Cause look at-
Valley, Southern California, Death Valley, Nevada, Utah, all
Mhm.
all looks like that. That was all underwater. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Well, everything was, but real recent that was underwater because Oklahoma
Right.
was underwater 7 different times
Right.
that we know of throughout
Look at
history.
this. This is 570 miles where this salt flat is.
Huh.
On the other side of a mountain range. How the fuck do you get salt water that far in unless there was salt water?
Well, we
Where's
have
the biggest basin of salt water they have next to it is right there.
yeah, the ocean.
Yeah, the ocean. I mean,
So here in Oklahoma we have salt plains.
I've been out there.
Yeah.
They've got those weird crystals.
Yeah, yeah. They're the only crystals that grow like that. They're
They got a weird
quartz.
hourglass inside.
Hourglass. They're not. Are they quartz?
I don't know
No,
what
they're
they
not
are.
quartz. What are they called?
Really don't know. But I mean, look at that distance. That's and we all know what happens when you salt land. Nothing grows back, which is you end up with deserts. Well, you got the same thing on the other side of the world over with, the Sahara. You have it up north of China and everywhere in India, here in this area, where it looks like this huge Himalayas was a wavefront. Imagine a wall of water on this side right here. Boom, just all the ocean's waters just shoots across. Boom, floods all the way across. Builds up. Imagine tons of water, 1,000-foot water, 2,000-foot high water. It's putting tons of pressure on this amount of land. This side of the land is getting pushed down and crushed to create the Himalayas. And then look at this. Does that look like it just breaks free and flows freely?
Oh yeah, that created a river for sure.
Well, this was more than a river. Look at that.
Huh?
Imagine the amount
Oh
of
yeah,
water
yeah.
that would come through that.
Yeah, more than a river that we
So
think of, but
it's like the Himalayas became a dam of land, which is what created because they find fucking seashells on the Himalayas.
Up in
How the
top.
fuck do they get up there? Well, the only way to do that is to have sea up there. The land wasn't fucking lower. The sea came up and around. The only way to move that much water is through a massive displacement, through a massive amount of energy. How much energy does it take? Well, how big were these impacts?
Yeah.
If you can break down the energy of how much those impacts were, I guarantee it moved all of them. And then on top of it, look at all the fucking comets that have regular orbits, that we track.
Yeah.
Those are icy bodies, right? Where the fuck did the ice come from? Well, when we got impacted, boom, all the water that splashed out of the atmosphere freezes, and they become orbiting bodies.
Have you seen I call it 20,
Halley's Comet could fucking be from this.
2013, I believe it was, in Russia? They had a huge.
Oh, yeah, the one that lit up the sky?
I don't know if it lit up the sky, but it was so loud that the concussion.
Are you shaking?
Yeah.
You jacking
my
off
leg.
over there?
It's my leg. Yeah, checking off like hands free.
Dang.
There's talent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
just between
impressed.
the legs.
Just rubbing it.
Yeah, you have to have a small dick to do it, so not everybody can do it. Anyway, yeah, go to YouTube. Let's look at some of those videos, man. They're pretty impressive.
Okay,
So just do like Russian comet or meteor.
let's move this to the proper one. Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. We want the Broken Mind
God damn it, Google,
channel.
work with us.
Serial, Google. Now if I could go back to YouTube.
I give you all my information, and this is how you treat me.
Exactly. Fuck. Okay.
Right.
And it didn't change. Oh, well. What do we want? Russian Comet 2013.
I think it's 20. I don't think I put in the thing, but yeah, yeah,
Meteor.
yeah. Meteor. See if it
Yeah,
has
13.
explosion. Yeah, shockwave explosion. Yeah. See if it has.
Do you see that fucking thing?
Yeah, this is. Yeah, look at this one. This is pretty fucking cool, man.
And in that picture is this.
Fuck
Yeah.
this thing.
There we go. Get rid of that. There we go. I just wanted to turn up the volume on it.
Yeah, February 5th, 5 days after my birthday.
It's a sign.
Huh.
Come on, are you gonna play? Chelyabinsk Roshka.
Yeah. February 15th, 2013. Watch this shit, man.
That doesn't even look fucking real, but it is. Isn't that I would think I was dying right there.
Yeah. Look. Watch this one dude, he gets pushed into through a window. I'll show you. Look at that shit, dude. Yeah, you think that would be the apocalypse. Jesus is coming. I was wrong.
Yeah, and think, that shit used to happen more often. God, look at that fucking thing. That is just, I'm gonna die. That's what I see.
Yeah.
I'm going to die right now.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Ooh, Jesus.
And then look, it takes seconds for that shockwave to reach Earth. I didn't show that one.
Fucking A. That is, I would shit my fucking drawers seeing that coming in. I'm surprised these people aren't freaking out seeing
I
that.
know, dude. Just driving around listening to music while fucking apocalypse is happening in the sky. It's so crazy, man. So, man, I don't know if this is the same video I watched, but this
This is a lot. This is a collection of them all.
yeah, this is a 10-minute video.
That is
What
exactly what you said.
And all right, so what happened was, whenever it hit the atmosphere,
Burned up.
It burned up and broke up.
Wasn't it the size of a bus, they said?
It was like 50. I want to say it's like 50 foot long. Yeah, it's about 50 foot long.
Little bigger than the bus.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that just, and look at what that did in the
Yeah.
sky. Could you imagine our ancestors seeing that shit? What they'd be like, the fuck?
this is probably where they get a lot of their fucking like a lot of myths come from and shit. You know what I mean? Their imagination trying to explain that shit.
Right.
Do you know whenever here recently in like the 90s or whatever, they would still find untouched civilizations in the Amazon and Africa and shit like that?
Oh,
right?
they're still finding them.
Right. And they, you know, those indigenous people would think that airplanes flying over were gods flying over.
Yeah, they have
You know?
from
They're
the
different
World War
entities.
II. I can't remember what they really they call them.
Yes.
But they would come and they would drop supplies on the because they needed a jump off point to get over to Japan, and they were dropping the supplies on these islands and stuff. And now to this day, they still build wooden airplanes in hopes that the gods come back and deliver the food.
Yeah.
And that's what they worship
So
it as.
that-
And it was just U.S. troops.
That is a time back in history that really can give you an idea of what our ancestors thought and acted and felt.
Well, and then here's another thing. People automatically go, well, it was a hunter-gatherer society back then. Was it really?
Not
Because
all of it.
we still have fucking hunter-gatherers now.
Yeah.
While we have this going on. So why
Right.
couldn't it have been? Maybe it was a smaller populace. Maybe they didn't have the internet in the fashion that we do. Maybe they didn't discover certain things that we did, but maybe they discovered different things that are
Right.
better.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I mean, obviously they cut the fucking rocks and stacked the rocks. God, that is crazy. Could you imagine?
That was William Shatner shitting his pants.
Shitner. William Shitner.
Man, I wanna see it where that one dude. He literally flies through a window in an office, man. This lady
Does he
gets
really?
up. The explosion happens. Dude flies through a window, and she's like, "What the fuck?" Just out of nowhere.
Could you imagine? You're just walking along and you're like, oh, this is the end. But, I mean, it just goes to show you. This shit
Oh, right here.
happened.
That was it. Right, go right there.
Right.
Timeline.
Somewhere around here.
No, right here. Back. Go right here. Yep, right there. It's fine. We hit it just in time. But look, I think that was it. All right, watch. We saw this one already. What?
He's sitting here
Oh,
by
this-
the window. Boom!
Ooh.
He got blown the fuck. Oh, no, I think he was running,
No,
too.
no, no. This isn't it. It looked a lot like it, but it's not it. It'll pop up. This one of these. Yeah, this one right here.
Oh, my God!
Yeah, that one right there.
Where'd you come from?
Right.
This dude's
It's
confused.
like, what the fuck happened?
Oh, my
Ooh,
God.
That was a garage door, man. Overhead garage door. Like an industrial one, not a...
Can you imagine the amount of
This
force?
is a school right here. And those kids
they're-
did not really jump. You know what I mean? Like,
One girl covered her ears. She's like, what?
that was the teacher.
No, there was a girl, too. Oh, my God. Just blowing out windows.
These motherfuckers freaked out. The kids, they're like, there's paused.
I think they were further away was why, and it
Possibly.
wasn't maybe as loud. God, look at that. And that is just from a small rock. So you can imagine
50 foot.
imagine 7 miles now.
Yeah.
7 miles, what that would it would have just
So
been.
all right, honestly,
Boom.
all right, I wonder if that 7 mile rock.
Let's find out
I wonder
how
if
strong it
if the
was.
rock was 7 miles as it hit, right? Or if it started out 7 miles coming down and then slowly dwindled or
Oh,
quickly,
yeah, I'm
quickly
sure.
dwindled down. You know, I wonder which one.
Energy of Chicxulub meteor. The Chicxulub impact. Oh, stone food. Smart people. Bippity boppity boo. Ba. I want to know. Oh, wow. Impact released this much energy. 0.7 minus 3.4 times 10 to the 31st ergs of energy. That's a lot. I know that. I don't know what it means. So let's assume the object. I mean, the fact that it's 1.15 times 10 to the 23 joules, it's a lot. Energy budget of civilization is 5 times 10 to the 20th. That's the energy consumption per year right now. I wish they would just say how many atom bombs it was.
Sure, you can find it somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, it was obviously a lot. How much energy was released? Maybe this one will be more human language. Released 100 million megatons.
Oh, okay, yeah. This,
So 50
so-
megatons is the largest ever tested. 100
Okay.
million megatons.
huh? That's like 10 to the 23rd joules. It sounds like to me.
Yeah, right? Oh, so smart.
Duh.
No, it's a lot of energy. So, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it makes you think, you know? Those people that are like, it just couldn't happen. Couldn't happen. No, sir. Just, no.
Man, I could tell you.
I just watched a school bus fucking blow up.
Yeah.
You know, basically.
Ever since fucking 2020, basically nothing surprises me anymore. Well, before that, really, since the Epstein deal, you know what I mean? Ever since the Epstein fucking
Question
happened,
everything. Well, fuck.
everything just kind of like went downhill as
They
far as.
resealed the damn documents. Ghislaine
Okay.
was found guilty of 5 out of 6 counts, and they resealed the documents.
Yeah.
Unacceptable,
Yeah.
fuckers.
Hey,
Unacceptable.
all right. So she hasn't been really sentenced yet. Yeah, she
Guilty.
She was guilty. That was it. She wasn't really
She's
sentenced.
there. Who knows?
So all right. So what I see happen is they're gonna come in with a fucking plea deal. You know what I mean? I'll give you this motherfucker up if you shave off some time, right? But she has 65 years in. She's 60 years old. Right now, that's a life sentence for her, right?
For sure.
All right. So anyway, so if that happens, man, how long is she gonna last in jail? Like, is she, all right,
Not long.
all right, is it gonna be suicide? Is she gonna get out? What's gonna happen?
Suicide.
Yeah, whenever I say suicide, I mean somebody's gonna kill her to keep her mouth shut so
Well,
they
yeah.
don't get exposed.
Yeah, she's going to be knocked off. I mean,
When do you?
she's going to be
how many-
suicided.
all right, so we're January 2nd, I believe we are. Yeah, we're January 2nd right now. How many months you give her?
Depends on the sentencing if she rolls over. If she doesn't roll over right away, she might have 6 months.
Good behavior.
Yeah.
So you think she? All right. So you think she's gonna serve no more time than 6 months?
What are these motherfuckers getting now? Look at Anthony Weiner's running around wild. You look at Clinton's running around wild. Look at Bill Clinton. Look at
Yeah, Anthony
everybody
Weiner-
that's
I don't
been
understand Anthony Weiner
associated.
because he was not that powerful. Like he was a.
Isn't he a government? He's some sort of government, like a congressman or some shit.
Yeah. Anthony Weiner. That's a fucking sleazy motherfucker, huh?
I can't.
An American former politician and convicted sex offender. So he's in the New York's 9th congressional district from January 99 until June.
Weird.
2011.
Didn't they just have a governor
So right
who
here-
was taken out of office because of corruption? God, is that state corrupt?
Everything is.
Right.
So Huma Abedin, right? Let's see. Huma Abedin. So she is an American political staffer who was on the vice chair of Hillary Clinton's 2016 campaign. Okay. All right, but she is she's very definitely very shady. These motherfuckers.
Reveals
I think we
Trump's
talked about it before, and it may have been
I just want to know who's all been involved in this shit. I would love to see who flew on that fucking jet and who landed on that island.
They have records.
They need to fucking release it to the
They're
public. This is fucking
They're
bullshit.
released.
No.
Yeah.
Everybody? Uh-uh.
No, not everybody. No,
I'm
no.
talking everybody.
Okay, so they went in there and they found like tapes, like recording tapes,
Mhm.
video recording tapes with
Mhm.
people's names on them. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? With not released books. You know what I mean? With names,
It's all
not
blackmail.
released. Yeah.
So
Oh, it's a blackmail island. All right, but all right, like I said earlier,
well, because
I want to know why they're going with children, right? Epstein Island, I'm sorry,
know.
is full of ancient god statues and
really,
shit like that. Yeah, just fucking old relics and shit. You know what I mean? Zorro Ranch was another one, and it's still up and running, and
Mhm.
it's in fucking Arizona or New Mexico. I believe New Mexico. All right, and where did they get the fucking name Zorro from? Zoroastrian.
yeah, the Zoroastrian Guild, which is a really old.
Well, it's the second.
Religion.
It's the second oldest religion in the world. It's the first monotheistic religion in the world, right?
How long is it?
How long is what?
Zoroastrian.
So, all right. So, listen to this. All right, we just had Christmas, right? And the three wise men who visited Jesus,
Mhm.
those are actually called three magi's, right? Do you know what magi is? The magi are
Magicians.
that's where the word comes from, magic.
Uh-huh.
But what they are is they were the magicians in the Zoroastrian religion.
Okay.
All right, so they really knew their astrology. They really knew astrology. They really
Mhm.
worked with the stars, and they're fucking magicians. You know what I mean? Why the fuck were they fucking seeking out Jesus through the stars? You know what I mean? Do you remember the story that they followed the stars to find the fucking Jesus, the
Right.
God's son?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, yeah.
Fucking weird, right? So crazy. And Zoroastrian is pretty much fucking Zoroastrian to the base is, or Christianity to the base is Zoroastrian religion with a lot of pagan rituals in it.
Mixed into it.
Yeah.
Well, it's also mixed up in there with Egyptian.
Oh yeah, for
Because,
sure. Yeah, 100%. But more so is these ancient, or not ancient, but these occult shit is really
Yes.
really Egyptian like. Yeah, but all that shit stems from fucking earlier civilizations like Canaanites and shit like that. But anyway, all right. So have you heard of the Toth, the Emerald Tablets of Toth? They found Emerald Tablets of Toth. Toth is the old ancient. Well, all right. So this is a fucking rabbit hole. Okay, are you ready for this?
I'm always ready.
All right.
I didn't spell that right.
Who you look for? Oh, yeah. All right. So these are Emerald Tablets, right? All right.
Mhm.
So here's the story on that. Bear with me, okay?
I'm here.
All right. Atlantis. Toth was a king in Atlantis, right?
Okay.
And Atlantis was destroyed. He went to Egypt and essentially created Egypt, helped create Egypt. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right, and that's how they were able to do the pyramids and all that shit. Okay,
Mhm.
Thoth helped him, right? Then he went to other places, and he went down to South America to help the fucking Mayans with them
Quetzalcoatl.
and all that shit, right? And they found these emerald tablets in is it Inca or Minor? What the fuck is it?
Emerald Tablets, North Toth.
Where did they find him at?
They're saying he was an Atlantean.
Right, Atlantis. Then he went to Egypt.
Mhm.
And then he went because fucking Atlantis fucking got destroyed, right? Then went to and he was all into alchemy and shit like that. Okay.
Right.
Man, just tell me where was it found at? Anyway, these tablets are made. They're indestructible. They're indestructible. You can't do it because they were made in an alchemist way, in a way that
This is a real fucking thing?
yeah, supposedly yeah, and they found them in the fucking temples of South America, Central America, whatever the fuck it is.
These were found in South America. This is
Yes.
Egyptian.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying, dude. He went from Atlantean to
Definitely not
fucking-
indestructible because look. That's
Yeah,
destructible.
but if that shit's from fucking, I don't know.
Still cool
I'm
as
just telling
fuck.
you.
I
I'm just
mean,
telling
look
you.
at that.
Yeah, I'm just
What the
telling
fuck
you.
is that made out of?
Yeah, exactly. Emerald, and some other shit. But motherfucking scientists can't figure out what it's made out of because the
What?
way that it was made, it was all these metals mixed together, where it's like the most indestructible fucking thing I think we know of.
What is it?
So origins of Toth tablets. I'll look that up. Where are you?
Emerald Tablets of Toth. I Substance created through alchemical transmutation. They are imperishable, resistant to all elements and substance in the effect. The atomic and cellular structure is fixed, so no change ever taking place. That would mean it would have to be absolute zero, Kelvin, because shit still moves unless you're at absolute zero, period.
He was a fucking alchemist and a magician, all right? He was a fucking god, all right? He went from Atlantis to Egypt. From Egypt to fucking South America, all right?
What the fuck?
It should get deep, man. It sounds so outlandish, man. But
Material law is of ionization. Tablets are engraved characters written in the old Atlantean language. See, this is a weird matrix disclosure site. I don't know.
Yeah. It's so outlandish, man.
But
and it's so long ago, and
if you're looking at them, and I see these things.
And then if you notice, man, there's listen, there's a lot of gods who have the same fucking name. Just depends on what part of the world they're talking about, right? All right, same with this one, man. He has a lot of different names, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I think that's kind of what happened is
And I don't know if
they brought the knowledge back after the cataclysm.
Yeah.
They helped rebuild society when
Exactly.
they were climbing out from underneath where they were hiding.
100%, yeah.
They were in the ground because I think some of them, think about it, it would be the same thing that happened right now. If we had a situation where shit was going to hit the fan, I guarantee they've got a bug out plan somehow to go out into space. Guarantee.
I just watched a movie about that with
Dude,
Leonardo DiCaprio.
fucking amazing movie, wasn't
It was
it?
pretty wild, dude.
Don't Look Up?
Yeah.
So fucking good. That was a
yeah.
great movie.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder.
Yeah.
It really does. But then you look back on it and people went underground.
That really captures the present
I know.
society now. Yeah,
I know.
They did a great job at that.
So does Idiocracy, though.
Glenn Close, man. I think she might be into that Epstein shit, dude. I think she was on the flight log.
You think so? She got ate by that thing.
Yeah.
That shit was funny.
And the reason why I say that is because I remember them saying her name on the flight log. Anyway, I hope not.
I don't know.
Bill Murray, one of them.
Really?
Unfortunately.
Ouch.
Yeah, but look at him.
I bet you a lot of those fuckers, though, because a lot of them are sociopathic narcissists anyways.
Oh, Bill Murray, 100%.
And those people, he's funny as fuck. That's sad. That really sucks. Cause
Jim Carrey. Yeah.
Maybe that's
Jimmy Kimmel.
when he went weird.
With Jimmy Kimmel.
I'm not a fan of Kimmel anymore.
I'm not either, man. I never was. But
Yeah.
remember he went on Jimmy Kimmel's show, and he's like, Illuminati.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, they would fucking.
He was probably spouting some truth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, he went off the deep end. And when I say off the deep end, he
awoken. He probably felt bad for what he did. He was like,
he's like,
fuck, things are fucked.
Yeah.
They've got shit on me.
So he went real like esoteric, fucking yogi like and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Which
I wonder if that's kind of the same thing that, I hate to say it, but Robin Williams.
Oh, I've always wondered about that too, man. I've always wondered about that.
See, okay, I was listening. I guess that one dude that does the real growly, weird voice that talks like that.
The 80s dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobcat.
Yeah,
whatever.
Bobcat.
Yeah.
Something or other.
Yeah.
He was really close friends with Robin Williams.
Really?
And
They never played anything together, did they?
Not that I know of, but they were very,
would've
very
been
close
great.
friends, and he talked about his illness that he had. Yeah, bring that down and then just bend your
I got
little
it.
up
I think
and
I'm good
around.
now. Oh, okay. Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, he's talked about his mental illness that he had and where he was having trouble just remembering anything at all, and it was painful for him just to be alive, forgetting everything. It was almost a Parkinson's.
Oh yeah, I feel so sorry for his daughter.
Oh yeah,
I think he only had one daughter. And if he had multiple, whoever his family, I feel sorry for his family, man.
Right. I feel sorry for a lot of these people's families. You know, I mean, look at what they've fucking done, and look at the type of people they are.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm saying Robin Williams, man, because he brought so much joy to the world. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And that's what they say. That's what they say about comedians, man. Like the people who bring the most joy are usually the most miserable.
right.
Sucks. All right. So anyway, can we go back to the
You can go wherever you want.
to the Toth again? So you know how people take DMT and shit like that, or they meditate,
Mm-hmm.
right? And whenever you do DMT or you meditate, people claim that they run into these entities.
Yeah, I know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I don't. But so Thoth is apparently one that people run into quite a bit.
Really?
Yes, or at least they claim. I kind of looking into meditation, just a little bit of it. But it sounds like, and I think a lot of people know this already, but I'm just now discovering that meditation. Whenever you do meditating, it's pretty much it'll take you to the same place that DMT takes you.
Yeah, it was supposedly you can get there. Your body produces DMT in large quantities.
That makes
anyways.
sense then, yeah.
You know, your brain is supposed to, I believe it's pituitary, your lungs, your liver.
So you know how like in the Bible and other religions, you know what I mean, they say pray.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think people are praying the wrong way. I think, people are like, oh, I hope this doesn't happen. I think praying is actually meditating to go to a different state of mind. You know what I mean? I think that's
maybe it was just misinterpreted.
People like take the easy way out. They'll
True.
take the path of least resistance, and nobody really questions it or ever thinks about it.
Right.
I never even realized that you could meditate that deep and go into a different place mentally.
Just through breathing, you can.
Yeah, through breathing and meditation and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It took me till my 30s to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? So just not a known thing, really. Which is
Right.
probably maybe on purpose. I don't fucking know.
And it could have been more widely known back in the day.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of. I mean, they didn't have a lot of distractions back then.
We're a consumer society now. We
Yeah.
consume. We've probably produced more waste in,
I know, dude.
our lifetimes than has ever been produced. Maybe they had better ways. Maybe they didn't make packaging for shit back in the day. They just set it on the fucking shelf. They didn't have these plastic, which is why you don't see plastics and
Thank
things.
God, man. I think
Ancient
that's one of the.
Maybe they were intelligent enough to know that, hey, that's probably not something we should fucking dive into and use too much of because it'll pollute the world. And
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of George Carlin for many reasons. The comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but one of his things is like, what the fuck we're doing here on Earth? You know what I'm saying? Like people,
Right.
We're fucking making styrofoam. It's the worst thing that ever happened. They're like, maybe fucking Earth made people to make styrofoam because the Earth wanted it.
He's funny.
I'm like, oh man, maybe. But then I was like, that's some bullshit though. I think we should be better stewards of the Earth for sure. And we're not.
Right.
But we're kind of forced not to be either, man, because
collectively, no.
Well, no.
We aren't. We're like a virus collectively, but individualistic mentalities aren't necessarily as bad.
Well, these companies, man, they see profits, dollars, and signs. You know what I'm saying?
They consider corporations an entity, an individual. So.
Okay, well, that's fuck, man. No, I don't. No, we don't like. No matter what, dude, we can't change it. We can't stop buying fucking shit from the store, really.
It's been programmed, and we've been programmed.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, it's brainwashing on extremely large scales. I think that's kind of why it's tied, why powerful institutions are tied so closely to entertainment institutions. They recently found the Biden administration meeting with certain news agencies to put together certain pieces of propaganda to disseminate out to the public.
What was it about? Do you know?
The usual shit. That the economy is good and that inflation is good and that all the bullshit that we're being told.
Yeah, they're trying to crash this fucking country, man. Anyway, all right. Do you have anything else to add? If not, then I want to take you someplace else.
Take me somewhere else.
All right, let's go to Epstein. Let me find it real quick. Epstein Island.
Yeah, where the fuck is that, anyways?
Ooh, good call. Epstein. It's in the Bahamas, I believe. All right, so listen to this, man. You ready for this? I might have written it down. Epstein Island, right? Guess who owns a piece of property not too far from there?
No clue.
Biden's brother.
Really?
And those used to be. I think I wrote it. I could have swore I wrote it.
What is the island called? Because it didn't pull it up on Google Earth. Of course.
Of course it won't. All right, hold on. All right, so those used to be World War II. There used to be World War II submarine fucking bases or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
So they're all equipped for submarines and shit. Ghislaine Maxwell had a submarine. Right? She had a submarine license. She was qualified.
Little St. Jeff's?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Little St. Jeff or John? All right. Look, this is what I want to really show you. Is that right there? That's a fucking temple, dude. That's a fucking exact replica of a temple. Epstein Temple Dome
Interesting.
replica.
Yeah, I see it.
Oh, that's the island one, right?
Yeah.
That's the island one, yeah. All right.
What's the deal with bizarre temple-like structure?
I'm trying to.
Aren't they faked as well? A lot of them are just prop-looking things.
See, like, look at that. That's fucking weird. All right, so it's an exact
Shell
replica. It's
Corporation.
an exact. All right, let me try to collect my thoughts and
I
say
don't know
this
for sure.
coherently. So it's a temple, an exact replica of a temple, and this.
Sorry.
Is an exact replica of a temple that is in the Middle East somewhere.
Well, it looks like it. It's got one of those big gold
domes. The
domes.
gold domes,
yeah.
yeah. And I'm not sure which one it is. All right. Then if you look on the island, so there's a YouTuber that went out and he took a boat out to by Epstein Island.
Mm-hmm.
He took a drone out there and was flying out drones and getting aerial pictures and shit like that, which, you know what I mean? We got a lot of
There's some
pictures.
guys that went out there, some independent guys that I watch every once in a while.
Oh,
they,
really? And
yeah,
you
they
did
took a
that?
boat out there.
Yeah, Little St. James. That's what it is.
Oh, it's-
yeah. I said John. It's James. Little St. James. So yeah, Biden's brother, man. He owns a piece like a couple miles away from that offshore. So weird, right?
It's not like any normal people can get out there regularly to check on the shit.
I mean, like, yeah, granted, it could just be coincidence, but I don't really believe in coincidences with these people, even though.
Oh, and that's very strange. It's within the line of
Ooh.
where I think that thing blew through, where there's a big chunk of something that. Interesting.
Let me look something up real quick. What is the replica of the Epstein Island Temple? Hopefully that'll give me a fucking.
What the
answer.
fuck? Is this really there?
What
Look
is
at this.
Yeah,
Dead center.
Yeah,
Look at
we
this.
saw that. We saw that in the picture that we were just looking at. That's like a magic circle. You know what I'm saying?
Dead center of the island.
Yeah. All right, so check this out, man. That island has a lot of vent holes. There's a lot of underground shit going in that. All right, man. Dude, there's so much. Dude, there's so much.
It looks like something big that broke off, ripped through. I mean, look how massive this thing would have had to been to carve that swath through here. Let's measure it. I bet you it's like 19 miles or so.
I'll bet you it's more than that. Oh, across?
Yeah.
Like that? Yeah, more
Way
than that.
bigger. Holy fuck. So that's
About
like
80, 70.
70-ish mile wide something. Like just blasted through here and carved a swath through. It had to have had massive amounts of velocity in order to do that. The only way to have that sort of velocity, no volcano is going to cause that. That's coming from outer space. And fucking tagging and then breaking a chunk off maybe, flying over from. So you've got big meow, boom, hits, a chunk breaks off, flies, boom, 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 rolls, bash, cuts a big old fucking swath through here, and then starts sliding and rolling to a stop right through here.
Right on Pedo Island.
Right under Petal Island.
Pedo. All right.
Which they do all sorts of weird fucking...
This is an elevator room.
What the fuck? That goes underneath?
Yeah. There's a lot of vents and shit on the island. There's a fucking... All right, listen to this, dude. Listen to this. There's a startup unit. Not unit. Fuck, I'm thinking of work. There's a startup... there's a startup company, right?
Mm-hmm.
That want to build, like, underground bunkers and shit like that, right?
Mhm.
Underground homes, whatever. All right? Well, Epstein was on two different boards, the financial board and some other board for that company, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Supposedly they've never fucking built anything. You know what I mean?
Supposedly.
Yeah, because it's a startup company. But I bet you they built that shit secretly.
And then look at this.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Look at how fucking perfectly...
Dude, that is fucking weird right there.
That's straight up a square. Huge.
Do you think that's part of the underground?
Well, I mean, it's under the water. I don't know what the
I
fuck
know,
this is, but
I
that's
know, but-
300 miles-ish, 350 miles across. I mean, if you go all the way to the land. But look at that. It looks like something was... It's like a big fucking bulldozer
Pedestal,
blade got
yeah.
put down and just pushed it over.
Or yeah. Oh, that is something.
Wild.
That's something to research right there, man.
Because nature doesn't do straight lines typically. That's crazy. Yeah, I've got so many ideas on this. When I start getting my brain wrapping around this and I start rambling, man, I can...
Can't get off it.
Yeah, it's... Well, I just see so much. I mean, I see splatter paint from here. You know, like if you just took chunky-ass fucking acrylic paint and splattered it on the board. That's what I see all this as. Which, if you look at this looks like it could possibly just splorch some shit. If this thing truly was ripped up into the air and flapped up and then flapped down... I could see it doing that. Maybe launching a... Well, yeah, that would have had to have been from an impact. That was initial impact. If it cut this big old chunk right there. It's almost like something grazed the earth. 70 miles, something just hauling ass, just chunked it out. I wonder how deep that is. That'd be a good thing to find. But when you look at some of these lines in the ocean floor, you know, they... looked like whatever it was vibrating when it was moving, which would indicate massive earthquakes going on. Like this, because you can follow them, like right there, boom, there's where the thing stopped. Here's a big line of it, stopped. And then when you zoom in, look at it, it's like chunked, like it was shaking the entire way. You know? It's very strange to me. And just the shape of it. Look at this. This looks like creasing right here. Like the ground creased up. Or maybe propagation of a blast wave of sorts. And that's the end of it. Just like, kind of, like imagine something hit over here, right? You get hit here, boom. There'd be an explosion that goes out circular, right? You go this way, what do you have? Edge of blast waves. You know, all the way out across here. Just very, very strange to me. And then you have dead areas that have been salted with large amounts of seashells in places where seashells shouldn't be. I mean, it just goes to show the oceans were in places where they aren't now. And it doesn't mean that the oceans were that much higher that it covered all the earth. It just means that the oceans moved at one point. And what moves oceans, you know? You've got the moon, moves oceans a little bit. You got things hitting the oceans, moves the ocean a lot.
Go back up here. Look how that's like totally different color too, right there.
I know the water area, and I don't know if that's based off of depth. I don't know what that is.
I think it's minerals, but I don't know.
Well, there's two rivers that flow together, the Black River and something else flow together, and they don't mix. You can see the two different colors of the water.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It's very weird. So different salinities, different... I guess ionic charges of the water, perhaps. I have no idea because I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just speaking out my ass. But, I mean, obviously, because you can go to parts in the ocean where there's like literally a line where the ocean meets up and you can see the two different oceans. And they're completely different colors. Let's see if I can find that.
All right. I got another rabbit hole to run down once you're
Look at this.
once you're ready for it. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? That's amazing.
Just baffling.
But it's kind of like oil and water, you know what I mean? How they separate from each other.
Yeah, but this is water and water. Salt water.
Well, yeah, both salt water. Yeah.
Look at that.
But I'm saying there's something in there to separate them like oil and water does.
Yeah, it's something weird, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Very, very strange.
I don't know if that's what they meant whenever they said the Red Sea part.
I don't know.
I don't either.
Oh yeah, when the Red... Well, no, I think that had to do... I think the whole Red Sea parting had to do with the impact. Because this looks like, if you look, this whole area connects directly to that crack, right through the Red Sea.
Are we still recording, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. On the camera. All right. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, well, I'll double check it.
All right.
Stay tuned. Keep talking.
All right, but anyway, the story of the parting of the Red Sea is whenever Moses came up to the Red Sea and he parted it through God's fucking power or whatever, through magic, God's power.
Maybe Moses was the comet.
Okay, so it's all metaphorical.
Maybe.
Maybe.
They named the comet Moses. Moses parted the Red Sea. Because if you look, if Moses, the giant comet, let's just call Moses the comet for now, boom, hits here, boom, causes all of this, fire, death, destruction, blow-throughs, blah, earth cracks, breaks, oh no, broken, we're all gonna die, follow the crack, we're dying because the whole world's fucking shaking, follow the crack, boom, Red Sea, all the way up. So, when Moses impacted, he split the Red Sea, he made the Red Sea. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's connected to that line, and there's been nothing bigger since then to erase. Because that's the thing. That's the thing that I want to get to about the whole Chicxulub impact. It's wiped out. You don't see the crater from a 7-mile object.
Right.
We know it's there.
Yeah.
You don't see it.
No.
So something huge happened after, because this isn't far from that, and that is still there.
Right. Yeah, because they can almost anything like that. They should have evidence of.
This is post 65 million.
Yeah.
And when you dive into Ajanta cave systems and the Ellora cave systems, you start looking at that and where they're located. They're in the most protected area, it seems, within India to stay away from a massive impact like that. I don't know. I really don't. It feels right. It feels good. That's why I talk about it. And it's my own little theory.
And I'm glad that, the people are like you looking into this stuff, you know what I'm saying? If not, then we'd be blindly following what other people are saying.
Well, yeah, other people who sit here and they have, what do they call it? They have established reasons in order to back their idea. No. Mainstream archaeology. No. Plate tectonics. No. Because it's been established. You know what? That's not science. Just because it's established doesn't make it science.
Well, science.
It's the current best theory.
Yeah.
But science is meant to be disproven.
Did you look into that podcast I sent you at all, or that book or whatever?
While we were driving?
Yeah.
The YouTube thing? No,
Yeah.
I didn't get a look into it. We were listening to an audiobook.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, that's the
I'll
one,
check that one out.
saying that, like, what is it called? Everything my teacher told me was wrong or something like that.
Oh, yeah. See,
fucking good.
I looked at the title. It was History Teachers Lied to You or something like that.
Yeah.
And now the
Well,
thing...
that's my teacher told me.
Yes. So if you look at the basic education system, I don't think teachers are the ones that are disseminating false
100%.
information.
They just don't know.
They don't know.
And that he
They're
says
being
that.
used. It's
He says that.
compartmentalization.
He says that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he points that out. Yeah,
Which is,
100%.
people talk about aliens and shit like that. Oh, if there were aliens, it'd be out there. Well, you know what? Compartmentalization, when you have people doing things that they don't understand what they're doing, it happens all the fucking time. Our education system does it.
I think, you know what I mean? Like earlier, I said that we only see 5% of
Right.
how everything works. That's a lot out there that we don't know, and I think that
The more we know, the more we find we don't know.
yeah. Well, I think multi-dimensional is part of that. Multi-dimensions
so.
are part of that.
I think dimensional theory has great. I think it's misunderstood, but it's a great direction to go into.
Yeah. It's not misunderstood. It's not understood at all.
Right. And I break it down to infinity, based off of infinity exists, right?
Oh yeah.
We know infinity exists because you can take the highest number that you know and you can multiply it by itself, and then you've got another number. You can multiply that number by that number. You just extrapolate forever.
Positives and negatives.
Exactly.
So it never ends either way.
Infinity is proven to exist through mathematics already. Now, if infinity exists through mathematics, does it exist in timelines? Like the quantum realm, we don't quite understand. So is it true that then every decision we make, we create a new timeline? Every moment of every minute of every day, how fast is it going? What's the speed of time? And I think the speed of time, myself, is the speed of light. I think that's why. So what happens in my mind, the way this works is...
But speed of time depends on elevation too.
Well, mass and velocity. Elevation, not necessarily. I mean, as you get further away from a massive object, then you have you run into relativity things. But the more massive an object is, the more that it bends space-time.
Yeah.
And space-time being the same thing, it distorts and warps and slows. So the more massive an object, the more it slows time.
That's what I meant to say.
And yeah, so it goes to reason, if everything has an equal opposite reaction, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, which is like Newton's third law of motion, then time should have an inverse. There should be something that's forcing time forward. And when I talk about time and the speed of time, I say it's the speed of light, because time is emanating out in all directions all at once at the speed of light, and then a photon, being massless, becomes caught in the stream of time. The photon isn't necessarily moving. The photon is captured in the flow, like a river. You drop a boat in the river, a little toy boat, and it goes, right? Same thing. Time's flowing at every direction, and say you get a photon and a photon releases, it gets caught in that direction of time that it's going, and it goes at the speed of time. That's why we can't break the speed of light, because you'll go any faster than the speed of time. If Newton's third law, back to that, is a thing, then time has to have an equal inverse. Now, without time, gravity can't exist. Everything stops, right? Therefore, I think gravity is the propulsive mechanism of time.
Yeah.
Gravity is the direct inverse of time. And I think that's what gravity is. It is literally the propulsion of time. It's like time is the rocket, and then gravity is what shoots out of the rocket. But that gravity is attractive to mass, and it can only interact with mass. Gravity is attracted to mass, interacts with mass, where time interacts with space-time and photons, neutrinos, and things that are massless.
Yeah.
That's kind of my theory on gravity. I've been working on it for
Well
about
said.
10 years.
Well said, Professor Lee. Dr. Lee.
no fucking perspective.
PhD.
Fuck that.
Damn, dude, that's fucking awesome and deep. And that's a very good point about the light and time, man.
It kind of makes sense. It
Yeah.
rings true, because when you apply relativity to it, you can apply relativity to it. You can make sense of why we can't break speed of light within time, space-time, because it is literally, as you approach, you know, the faster you go, the more massive an object begins, the time slows for those, and time speeds up outside. So the more massive the object is, the more time slows. But that's just straight through velocity. And that velocity, as you approach, just like going through a stream in a river, if you're trying to go as fast as the river, you can go faster than a river flows.
Right.
Right.
But not well, I guess yeah.
There's still
Yeah.
resistance.
Yeah.
So the space-time is somehow gripping onto mass-filled objects, maybe through the Higgs boson field. Who knows? Maybe that's literally what causes it. And the faster something moves creates more mass, you know, because we have different planets of different sizes, of different masses, you know, as well. And density causes mass, acceleration, velocity. There's so much that ties into it. It's so hard to get the physics wrapped around, and which is probably why it's so fucking hard to find a theory of everything, just to unify it all, you know. But hell, who knows? Maybe I'm onto something to help unify space-time and gravity. That would be super fucking
You're going
neat.
down in history books with Elon Musk, man.
Dude, if somebody gets a hold of this and runs some numbers for me, this is my idea, motherfucker.
Copyrighted already.
Yeah.
Now.
Copyrighted right now, January 2nd. No, I've got writings on it and stuff that I've been writing for a little bit. But,
Nice.
you know, I would love to have somebody come tell me, you know, what they think about that. Somebody way smarter than me.
I got this guy I work with, his son has like 2 PhDs. He's working on a second one, I guess. I don't fucking know. He's been to school at MIT.
Oh, shit.
And he's in Caltech. Is that?
I should have fucking been an
Some
engineer is what I should have did.
Yeah. So anyway, his goal is to work in CERN in Switzerland.
That would be fucking amazing.
So, do you want to hear some conspiracy shits about CERN?
Yeah.
There's a god. Fuck, man. I don't know if I could actually tell that right off.
There's
the
like
top of my head.
3.5 million gods, so.
No. With CERN in the name of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. God of CERN. I did a. Okay, CERN has a statue of a pagan deity prominently displayed on the premises. This is a Hindu false god of destruction. CERN is dedicated to this pagan god of destruction. The name of this demonic entity is Shiva.
What?
Tower of Babel, CERN, and the gates of hell opened. Shiva, god of destruction, CERN. All right, I think I wrote this somewhere. I could have swore it was in this goddamn book. Here. Fuck, is this it? This might be it. A statue of a bull. Let me look this up.
I like that you do handwriting shit. I have to type.
Oh, I can't.
My handwriting, if I wrote it down, I wouldn't be able to read it afterwards. I've just got rough handwriting.
Oh, I doubt you could read this. All right, Shiva in Pakistan is based on. All right, Cernunnos. All right, Cernunnos. It's hard to say for me. I'm sorry. So there's a god called Cernunnos, and almost everybody's heard of Shiva, right? In Hinduism, right? Well, it's actually an older god called Cernunnos.
Celtic god of the forest.
Yeah, all right. So it's a Celtic god, right? Cernunnos. Okay, yeah. So, man, all right. I just wrote a very little.
Oh, look at this.
So snakes. All right. Snakes represent knowledge and wisdom and shit like that, right?
Right. They've turned it around to be evil in Christianity.
Yeah. Eagles are known to be dominant, like the dominance. You know what I mean? Like
America.
Violent dominance. Rome.
Fuck yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? Rome really did it. Rome was all about it, dude. Like, we are Rome in the future. You know what I mean? Nazis.
Did they have an eagle?
Did they have an eagle?
Oh, yeah, they did.
On top of the swastika. They always had eagles.
That's right.
In Rome, they would, like, if they lost one of those eagle fucking flags or staffs or the banners, they would have to go back and get it. With those banners, they didn't lose that shit. With those banners, they would turn those banners upside down, and enemies left on the battlefield, they would stab them with the fucking eagle.
Oh,
like
shit.
Spear. Yeah, like they would go back. Yeah,
just to finish them off. That's
just
crazy.
Finish them off. All right, so a lot of the flags, including the American flag, because the "Don't Tread on Me" has the snake on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of demonized now. You know what I mean?
Well, of course, because there's so many people that are anti-2A.
Right.
Take the guns. The government will protect you.
But you know what I mean? That was like an American thing. You know what I mean? It was the snake because they knew it was wisdom. All right. So what about this? The fucking the Celtics, Ireland.
Right.
Ireland. All right. Saint Patrick. Right. He fucking was known for getting the snakes out of Ireland. Correct.
Don't know.
That's what St. Patrick's Day was.
Is it really?
That's what St. Patrick's Day was. St. Patrick came out and got rid of all the fucking snakes in Ireland, but there was never any snakes in Ireland because the weather is too cold there. The climate's too cold there.
And they're cold-blooded.
So really what it is, exactly. So really really what happened is they took the pagans out, the druids out.
Well, if the snake represents knowledge, and information, then that means St. Patrick, which typically the church is known for repressing knowledge. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. The druids and the pagans, they had the ancient knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Well, the Romans came in,
and the snake said, "Don't eat of the tree of life," or what, a tree of knowledge,
because of wisdom. Yeah. The fucking helix.
Caduceus.
Thank you. Yeah, the Caduceus snakes on them, man. Yeah. Double
helix. Mm-hmm. Is Caduceus, two snakes knowledge. You know, it's almost like they've known this shit in the past.
Exactly.
And like I said, we can roll all the way back 300,000 years of human civilization. Who knows, man, how many times we've been here, or even more advanced than here. Maybe we've blasted off of this planet. Maybe that's some of the fucking shit we see coming back.
I honestly think that advanced beings did come down here. They manipulated the lower intelligent beings that lived here and created us in their image.
Isn't that Sitchin's talks about that?
That's what the Sumerians talk about, but Sitchin, translated that. So I believe that there's a lot more truth in that than the Genesis Bible. But I think the Genesis Bible is just another way to say it.
That's why I'm very strong agnostic, because if you apply logic to things instead of magic and try to explain it away just because you don't want to offend somebody, then you're doing yourself a massive disservice. You're doing society a massive disservice because you're not delving deeper into what these beings truly could have been or were.
As far as magic, man, a year ago, before I started looking into like why the fuck are all these kids being used as fucking sex, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have believed in magic at all, I thought it'd be all bullshit, you know what I mean? But I'm starting to really believe in it, you know what I mean? And even if it's really not real, which I think it is, even if it's not real, I believe that there are very powerful people doing very bad things that think it is real. And that makes it real.
Yes. I think that there are very powerful people doing very horrible things. They are following a guide that they believe is real. However, they're misguided in their attempts, which is why the atrocity in using
Yeah.
children and doing the things that they do.
All right, so the reason why they use children is, like I said
Innocence
earlier,
and fear.
well, and I think they also get adrenochrome off that as well. You know what I mean? And I think they use that as a drug
Right.
for anti-aging, and because from what I understand, it's fucking like better than fucking the best heroin you get. Whatever, I don't know. Never done heroin. I don't know. Anyway, but all right. So back ancient times, you know what I mean? They would sacrifice children for. They would sacrifice their first child to Baal, Baphomet. Now, Sir Nunos is another name for it. Shiva is another name for that. That's what I found out. I just read
Oh,
that.
interesting.
I wrote that. Yeah. There's a lot of names for it. Quetzalcoatl, like I said.
Quetzalcoatl, and
Yeah.
and I think that's the thing, because they sit there, even ancient historians and researchers, Egyptian researchers and things, are like, no, they never left this area. No, they never traveled across seas. No, they didn't do this. But there's just too many things.
The
spread-
gods did.
Yes.
Well, the gods. You know what I mean? The entities,
the advanced beings,
the advanced beings.
the ones who we would be considered advanced beings.
100%, yeah. We would.
If we popped back and showed up back then, we'd be advanced as fuck. We'd be telling people what to do. I hardly know agriculture and all that shit, but I could show people how to grow. I could show them how to make better soil.
Yeah. But if you go back to the 1800s, I bet. Well,
1800s,
1900s
would have been burned at the stake.
Well, 1890. Oh, I'm just thinking of my grandparents' parents' era. I bet you they could show us a lot more about agriculture and shit than we know.
Oh,
you know what I
for
mean?
sure.
So yeah,
For sure.
and they're just more.
But try going back to zero. Zero time.
Yeah.
What was happening back
Are you
then?
talking about like 2,000 years ago? Zero. Yeah.
Yeah, 2,100 years ago, or
Yeah. Yeah.
2021, whatever. Going back to that date, and with the knowledge that we have, we still understand more than they ever could. Yes, back in the 1800s, maybe they could have grown crops better, but they still didn't know the material sciences that are kind of, regardless, they had stuck in our minds.
They had a lot of superstition too.
Right.
Yeah.
And we could take that information, you'd be a walking god, or you'd be burned at the stake, or something.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe Jesus Christ, maybe that's what it was.
An advanced being.
Advanced being.
Yeah. I think so. Anyway, all right. Now, do you want to hear some weird shit? Let me see if I wrote this down or not.
All right, you can't have that knowledge, guys. Seriously, stop telling people. No,
right.
seriously, we're gonna fuck you up. You can do
The Roman. All right, so we're going back to Roman. The ancient fucking arena of Colosseum, right?
Mhm.
2018 or 2019. I thought I wrote it down. I
Didn't they shut it down completely?
Well, they put a fucking statue of Moloch
In it?
outside of it. Moloch, all right?
Weird.
So Moloch, Baphomet, Cernunnos,
Mhm.
all of those, same thing. So basically what I'm saying is they put a statue of them out there.
Right.
Then and it was, I'm trying to think.
Now.
All right, so they put it, it was supposed to be removed.
Mhm.
And they didn't know this whenever they supposedly they didn't know this. They shouldn't have known this before it hit, but it was supposed to be removed the time that COVID hit, basically.
Oh, and
Which is fucking weird. So it seems like it was put out there as a ritual or a something, you know what I mean? Like marking or a
site.
something, you know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it was part of the whole plan.
Well, I mean, look at
Does that make sense?
look at the Colosseum was a giant sacrificial pit.
Yeah, sacrifice. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
It was
So
just
it's
a
like-
giant sacrificial pit. That's what it was. All they
Yeah.
did is they sacrificed thousands of people.
Have you seen the? All right, so CERN. Have you seen the opening, or have you seen the fucking play that they did? Go to the YouTube, man. It's so fucking weird.
Okay, so what's the play for? CERN?
Yeah, CERN.
CERN play?
I want to call it a play.
Symmetry? CERN dance opera?
Yeah. No. That's not it. Go.
CERN people call them before
No,
the
that's not
storm.
that. Can you go to just YouTube
Yeah.
or videos?
I'll just go
There
into
you go.
here, stop that bullshit. And then, what is it?
All right, yeah, perfect. Just like CERN. CERN opening ceremony. Yeah, CERN opening ceremony. Yeah, and it was
Did
a
they
long time.
dance
ago, 10
and do
years
some
ago. That's
What
not it.
the-
That's not it. That's not it. Wait, is it?
Demonic
No.
Gothard tunnel opening ceremony, New
No,
World
but I
Order.
kind of want to watch
Illuminati.
that now. I'm gonna look that motherfucker up. It is Satanic Severity. Nobody noticed. That might be it. Yeah, 2017. The world's largest tunnel is supposed to be.
Which one are you looking
try
at?
that.
The one that I'm
second
on.
one. Yeah, try. How many minutes is it?
Excuses.
Shut the fuck up.
Exact. God, I'm the same way. As soon as a commercial comes on YouTube, I'm like, "Fuck
Yeah.
you! Shut the fuck up!
Well, who is this? Because I'm not using them. Fuck CVS.
You're wasting
We're not-
my time."
We're not using CVS no more. We're
Nope,
going to
sorry,
fucking Walgreens.
CVS. You put an ad. And,
Fuck you too, man.
and Masjid
Oh,
Al
fuck.
Badr.
You're not even in fucking America.
This kind of stuff in a while, but there's been some
How
weird
many minutes is
happenings
it?
around
It's
the world.
fucking 20 minutes. God damn
For
it.
example, the potential that the human species
gonna look it
may
up
have
for
been
you.
around a lot longer than we did.
Yeah.
Or you can continue to look it up.
2017
Sorry, guys.
Switzerland, a satanic ceremony was held to open the world's largest tunnel. This was supposed to be normal.
CERN ceremony. Just do CERN ceremony.
CERN ceremony. I'm going to do without the 2012 on the end.
Yeah, CERN ceremony.
CERN opening ceremony. Abstract performance to celebrate
No,
Switzerland's rail opening.
this one right here. Wait.
Bizarre ceremony.
And like, yeah, that stupid bitch. Yeah, that, or maybe this one, Gotham based. No, what?
Gothard base tunnel opening.
Damn, is that? What's Gothard?
Longest tunnel. CERN highlights from 2019. World's longest, deepest train tunnel opens in Switzerland. Largest. Open
Dude,
Gothard
they
message.
may have fucking scrubbed it.
That'd be crazy. And it was, what kind of, was it Moloch or whatever?
It was. Well, yeah, it was, but it was Shiva, really. Because they have a huge statue of Shiva on there. All right, try this. CERN Shiva. Yeah, ceremony. Thank you. You're
I don't know how to spell.
And
So
if not, we need to go to.
abstract.
So it's not
This is the
abstract.
railing.
That's not abstract.
Living with
Okay,
God,
here.
Shiva, Lord of the Dance.
This is it.
This second one.
Okay, yeah.
This is
No. Third one. I'm sorry.
third one.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Or
This is it. This is it.
build.
Yeah. This is it right here.
Vermutlich nur ein übler Scherz.
Okay, I can't understand
that.
them.
But anyway,
so.
there's Shiva. There's the statue. This is CERN ceremony, dude.
What the fuck? Did she just lay down on the ground?
Yes,
Like
dude.
she's a willing sacrifice?
Yeah, and look at them, man. They're all
Do they
fucking
pretend
hooded up.
stab her?
This is. Yeah.
Why'd they? They were all zoomed in on her and moved right when they did the fake stab or whatever they did to her. The like,
Let's see if we can find a English.
Oh, okay. So now they've taken the cloak off of her. Now she's getting on her knees. They're turning the frogs gay. Sorry.
Dude, that is pretty amazing. There's only one video that we can find like that.
And this motherfucker moved the camera as soon as they started doing something to her.
Yeah.
Now you can't tell. That was dumb. Why the fuck did you
All right,
do that?
man. This reminds me a lot. I've seen better video quality.
Yeah.
All right, I've seen it. We can't find
Horror
it.
Hunsen Ashbel
Try
Hunsen.
maybe going to rumble.com.
Okay.
Here's right here. That's all good. And put the same thing, man. CERN, Shiva, ceremony.
Ah.
You'll figure it out.
Someday I'll learn. Perdo opening the bottomless pit. So
One
we.
video? Are you fucking serious? What's
Yeah.
going on?
Rumble's still new.
Okay, what is the other one? What's the other one that I watch?
There's what's that other one that everybody uses? There's another main one. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Yeah, I got it right here. Should I don't?
I don't know. Shit.
Hold on, I got it.
Just had it on the tip of my tongue. Can't think. Anyways. Yeah, that's very interesting that we have.
I'm telling you, man. These are all, and just like Bohemian Grove, you know. It's a
Yeah,
lot like
Bohemian
that.
Grove.
And you know what I'm saying? It's like I would like to say that it's not real, but my God, they're showing us, and you know what I mean, like.
Oh, I don't want.
BitChute, BITCHUTE. BITCHUTE. All right, there we go. Are you on any of these? Like, do you post any of these videos up here?
No, I should though, huh?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I already gave it.
Because I think this is kind of like an early I mean, it's been out a little while, but it's like an early YouTube where you still can't find a whole lot. You know what I mean?
Nothing.
So you can. Oh, nothing.
Nothing.
What the fuck? All right, there's. Fuck.
I'm gonna scroll through these a little
Jesus
bit.
Christ, man.
Was a woman sacrificed in front of
Yeah, that's what I was about
Natraj.
to tell you before you clicked off that. Anyway, so
She's on a fake green screen. That is weird.
who made this video? Oh, ABP.
I don't know what that is.
It's looks like India, so I would probably say they're fucking bought and sold.
Bought and sold through Shiva,
Yeah, whatever.
creating black holes and the God particle.
That shit is so fascinating.
Well, that's the Higgs boson, is what they call the God particle, which is what I was saying attaches to space-time
Big.
and mass. That's how space-time and mass interact with each other through the Higgs boson, which is gravity, space-time, and all of that.
Wow, man, fucking crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. The Hindu interpretation of creation, living with gods, water serpents.
Alright, so what about this? Gothard base tunnel? Let's look at that because I don't. No, not that
mean
necessarily,
Johnny.
but the ceremony that they were talking about.
Okay.
Let's see what that ceremony was.
See if it's
this.
another
No.
weird one.
Well, no, that's not it.
Here, I'll just type in Gothard
Yeah.
ceremony.
Yeah, let's see what that's all about.
Why in the world? Okay, so I've got to turn off that. That's half the issue that I'm having. Where's my function? No more touch.
So we could do this one, which
There we go.
this one or this one, either one.
Tunnel opening ceremony. They're doing some weird dance.
Yeah, let's try either one. I think they're both.
It's interpretive dance. Oh, hey. Had some Clydesdales. Probably not Clydesdales, but those are some
Horses with the stagecoach.
pretty horses.
Six horses, 5 horses. And you know, man, like with like magic and I think this is like magic ceremony and shit. You know, numbers, colors, everything.
They're like zombies.
Everything means something. You know what I mean? Nothing's put in there by accident. I've noticed that about the works of magic and shit. You know.
Dude, this could be straight off of Walking Dead. Look at them.
This is everybody going to get the shot.
Right?
I
Same
don't
thing.
know. I
Bunch
don't
of
know.
sheeple.
This was 5 years ago, so I don't know.
Are you vaccinated?
I'm surprised they all not wearing the same shoes.
Get the jab.
I wonder if they're. I wonder who those people are. If they're actors or what.
These are probably just performing artists that are dressed up in what they wore in making the tunnel. Maybe there's a couple of the people that actually worked on the tunnel that might be in there, like that old dude.
Yeah, he saw the old fuck. Yeah, I was like, that
He's like,
motherfucker.
I'm gonna be in there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna learn these dance moves. I was the one that designed the device that cut the hole.
Like, what are y'all doing, dude? Y'all retarded.
It's interpretive dance, man. They had to do this.
What are they? What is? Whenever you interpret, it's supposed to mean something. What the fuck are y'all trying to say?
Hey.
You see that old lady?
Yeah, her head fell off. Oh, and they've got drums. Oh,
Yeah,
I want to
turn
hear
it
the
off. Let's hear
drums.
it. Let's hear it.
Boom, bop, bop, boom.
And then you got the acrobats. I guess that's what you call them up top. You see them?
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is like a weird interpretive dance. What I need to do is get that hooked up to my Bluetooth speaker. Very weird. Very.
That's like some ancient shit, huh?
Violent,
Like ancient ritual dancing.
It
right?
looks like they're about to sacrifice somebody.
I know. Even sounds like it.
Oh, and here comes the sacrifices. Oh, look at the wings in the back. Angel wings, and they're all in... Oh, they're poofing stuff. This is so fucking weird. Oh, she literally bit her boob.
That was a girl fighting another girl's
bit
boob.
a girl's boob.
So
She was waiting for that part of the dance.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't wait to bite this girl's boob.
Why are they putting sex into this? And not just sex, homosexuality.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Sex sells, bro.
But they don't need to sell it. They're not selling. They're not trying to sell anything.
Oh yeah, they do. They're trying to sell tickets to travel through the world's longest tunnel.
I disagree.
And now this guy's angry smash. What? I think they just hired some artists. And he's like, I'm an artist, and I do musical art by slinging chains at pieces of metal. What the fuck is this old shit?
Everything has meaning, dude. I believe. I don't know. It doesn't. What the
fuck?
And it's a child's face, right? Like a demonic child's
It
face.
looks
That's
like
what
a
I
cherub. That's a topless chick, is what that is. Those are
see.
boobs.
Sure is. Wow, man.
This is really.
It gets weird. It gets deep. It gets like, what the fuck?
What are these grass people? The snipers.
Oh,
are
they're
coming.
fucking entities that they fucking dug up out of the fucking hole.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
these are the DMT elves.
is that what they look like?
DMT old.
Oh, you never.
No.
Have you seen them?
No,
You never seen them. You never.
I saw it off to my right. There was like a bright white bean entity. It was like light.
They have a figure.
Yeah, it was like a
Shape?
woman's figure.
Huh.
It's
Did-
kind of real
just-
bright white.
Distinct like facial features at all?
No, it was just the shape of, and it communicated somehow. Not with words, but I kind of understood it.
Yeah. So I think like meditate. Whenever you meditate, whenever you take the drug or whatever, it's just a faster way to meditate, to break on through
Right.
meditation. I think that's what
It's
that
the
is.
shortcut.
Yeah. And I think like meditation really, whenever you meditate, it kind of prepares you for what you're about to see. Whenever you go in with a drug, it just hits you like that, and you're like, what the fuck?
Look at this.
See, look at that. Yeah.
They got a dancing.
Go ahead. And then,
Yeah.
all right, so remember that Marina Abramovic
Yeah.
picture I told you, showed you, that we looked at up
Yeah.
here? She was holding a goat's head.
Yeah, I
Goat
saw
heads
that.
are really part of a lot of. What the fuck's this guy doing?
Yodeling and jingling bells. He's like,
We're on
I had
Oktoberfest
the
now.
coolest part in the entire Gothard opening. Watch, here I come, and there. That's what that dude does every single time now. He'll
What?
show this video to his friends. He's like, watch this.
Oh.
Is me. Oh, here I come. Yeah, you see
Here I
that?
come. Here I come. Get ready.
Listen to this yodel. It's very interesting.
And wait. Go back. I know you can't, but I'm hoping it'll pan back because there's a fucking picture. Look at that picture
In the background.
right there. Yeah. It's like,
This is like off of the.
God touching
Yeah.
humans. You know the what
Isn't that
is
on
that shit
the
called?
cathedral?
Yeah, dude, that's
Sistine
Michelangelo.
Chapel?
Michelangelo, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Here's a lot of bouncing breasts.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Thank you, guys. You'll all be sacrificed shortly. Balog is going to be coming from the tunnel shortly. Thank you. You will be his meal.
Who gets invited to these things, man? Do you think it's like
I don't know.
you
Figure
have
out
to-
who these people are, and you know.
Do you think you have to be?
I think some of them are engineers. I think some of them. These are probably project leads and business leaders who had a part
like,
in it.
These motherfuckers are like, what did I just see? What the fuck did I just?
That's what
watch?
I'd be doing. I'd be like, dude, all I wanted to do is build a tunnel, and you guys did this.
Yeah, like what was I a part of?
Strange
here?
interpretive
What was
dance.
I a part of here? Yeah, dude, no, it doesn't make sense. So the fucking the CERN thing, man, is real similar to this too. The one I saw, because I did see that one that we looked at, but then I
Yeah.
seen one that was more like this, more
Dancey dance.
theatric and fucking bullshit. Yeah.
Right
So
now,
fucking
you may
weird.
not be able to talk at all because I'm not going to let you.
So
Bam.
so if people want to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like ignore the fact that these motherfuckers doing some ceremonial shit, dude. Like the fuck was that then?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That
Well,
that's not just art, dude. That's not just art. I don't think.
Well, it just baffles me that it's dismissed so quickly.
Yeah.
It leads you to question it even more.
And I understand that. I understand why it went on for so long, because we didn't have internet to share this.
Right.
People not like you and me sit here sharing the world.
Well, and
what's
now
really-
look at what they're trying to do now that information is decimating so quickly. What they're trying to do, disseminating, I should say. They're trying to take down your ability to
Yeah.
spread information. They're blocking certain contexts, certain words,
Shadow banning.
shadow banning, so the information doesn't even get out there unless
If-
you share directly with people and they have a direct link to it. It's very strange.
If this podcast does go anywhere, it's gonna get shadow banned so fast before it does go anywhere. I think. You know what I mean?
Hey, at least it's getting some attention.
Yeah. If you're getting shadow banned, that means
Yeah.
you're fucking.
Well,
you're spitting truth they don't want you to know.
There'll be a lot of other shit other than, the typical conspiracies that we
Yeah.
like to talk so deeply on.
Yeah.
But who knows how much of it's true and how much isn't. Only those that are on the deepest levels.
Oh yeah, for sure. Is 100%. And there's psyops into psyops into psyops, meaning that
Right.
look at this.
Well,
this,
and then
this is all bullshit, but we're really doing this over here.
wasn't Ghislaine Maxwell's dad like some head Mossad agent or some shit? And,
Yes, 100%.
which
and
just goes to show you psyop.
Yeah, and he was owner of a news press.
Really?
Is it news
So
press?
he could disseminate information as well.
And his sister was her sister was into something too.
It just sounds like a giant, like, hey, we want something passed. Guess what? We got pictures of you and video of you with little kids. And that's why so many major world leaders are on these lists, is because these people were brought in by the powers that be in order to create blackmail material on them all. And I think what's happening is they're trying to normalize it so that when the blackmail material comes out, people aren't so shocked by it and go, so what?
Yeah.
It seems like that's the direction they're heading, to distract from it and detract from how horrendous it truly is, so that when it finally does come out and the names do drop, this person did that. Oh, here's a video of them. They'll be like, oh, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
And it's...
Yeah.
It's, I mean, look at the path, look at the news cycles, look at the things that we're being told and the things that we see on a regular.
There's only like 3 people in the world who own the major news companies, something like that.
Is it really?
Something
Only
like
3?
All right, so Maxwell did own. He owned some of the biggest newspapers in the world.
Wow.
He had 10 children. The youngest was Ghislaine. Apparently, her father was a piece of shit, like real fucking strict, and But
Which, if he was, then there's most likely the opportunity of her being an agent as well, of sorts.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, all right, a lot of people think that her father, what's his name?
Fuck if I know.
Robert Maxwell. Robert Maxwell gave money to Epstein to do a lot of dirty work. But, Epstein wasn't part of he did CIA shit too, though.
Well, it seems to be all intelligence.
Yeah.
All of them were tied
right.
to intelligence.
Right. All right. So anyway,
I can't believe they use intelligence. That's so fucked up. Such a way to ruin a good word.
Right. All right. So anyway, I think what happened was Robert Maxwell kind of made Epstein who he is, right, with Maxwell's money.
Mm-hmm.
Ghislaine was there to make sure that, kind of like his handler.
Exactly. That's what I've thought.
Yeah.
I think she was the handler and he was kind of the patsy.
Yeah.
And he front-ended it and, friended all these people, but it was her doing of, we need to get a hold of this person, and whoever told her.
Yeah.
But she received the information, disseminated to him, we need to meet them, we need to meet this person.
He was the patsy and the salesman, or the personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
The personality.
Yeah. And it worked for a long time.
Apparently.
Yeah.
It's just too bad we can't put a stop to it and figure out who the fuck all these people are. If our federal fucking government would actually unseal the goddamn documents, hiding shit.
You're talking to the people who are in those documents, though. Right?
True. Well, it's still not okay. It just shows you how corrupt our judicial system and how much it needs to be fixed as well.
Yeah.
I think we should have every trial that ever happens from this point forward needs to be publicized, on camera, available for the world to see. All the information that comes out should be available for the world to see, just like the Rittenhouse case.
Yeah. And that trial lasted was quick. Mm-hmm. It's like 3 weeks.
Oh, I know. For all this bullshit,
yeah.
It's only 5-6 charges.
And it wasn't about Epstein. It wasn't about anybody else except for what Ghislaine did.
What she did.
What she did. You
well,
know what I mean?
I'm sure on a legal standard, that's all that they could do. When you go through our current judicial ruling, our rule sets, that's all you could do. But
a witness could say whatever they want, basically. I mean,
right.
as long as not. She's going back to trial though for I don't know how many. It's multiple accounts of perjury. Is that the word for lying? Perjury. That's lying.
Perjury
right?
is lying.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I hope we get more information. The likelihood is that we won't get more information, and that's just due to the fact that there's too many high-up names involved in it and protecting it until these dinosaurs die out and I mean, it's going to take a whole new guard. That's what
Yeah.
fucking sucks.
And like
There's no
it's like what
rooting out the
it's like what Trump said in the beginning, though. Man,
weasels.
drain the swamp. You know.
and
what
then
I'm
he got
saying?
in there and figured out he couldn't drain the
No, I
swamp.
couldn't.
And I think he figured out how deep it goes and goes, fuck.
I think he always knew.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's probably why he was seen with Epstein, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, he knew. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he was just kind of, I don't know.
And I think
I'd love to see a complete outsider, like somebody who has no idea of this shit, you know?
it's like that dude in New Jersey, man. He
Yeah.
a truck driver.
What did he do, like $130 and won? Didn't even campaign.
Yeah.
You're like, man, it was kind of like Biden. Biden hid in the basement and won.
Yeah.
Except this dude, you know, he's on the opposite side of things. I think we need more rules in place for Congress. We need more rules in place for anybody.
Term limits.
Not just term limits, but I mean, we've got to put down, look, you're serving the people of America. You aren't better, you aren't bigger, you aren't anything. You are an American serving Americans. And in order to represent that, you only make this amount of money. You don't get investments. You don't get to do that. You don't get to do book deals.
Lobbyists.
Nothing.
It shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, lobbying should be outlawed completely. Our legislators who actually write laws, I think we should have a department that is dedicated directly to every single day going through every single law that we have and going, is this archaic and does it need to be removed? All right, we remove it. Is this archaic or is this worthwhile? Do we keep it? Do we remove it?
Or update it or whatever.
Yeah, completely. Not even update. No, remove.
Okay.
Remove
Start
completely.
over?
Yes. And then if somebody wants to implement something like it, then it has to go to a vote of the people.
Yeah.
I believe. And only one topic at a time. You want to pass a law? One thing. One thing. That's it. You don't go, I want to do this, and I want funding for that.
Yeah.
But, and then they go, well, you can't have this and this and this unless you give us that and write this. And no, fuck you.
That's how shit gets drawn out
This
so
is-
much. And that's
well-
how governments shut down and all that bullshit.
And that's how they convolute it. That's how
Yeah.
they make it so fucked up to get to where it is today. If we
Yeah.
had just a one subject, look, this is what I need. I need our prison systems will only be filled with people who are violent offenders who create a crime against others, like actual
yeah.
create victims.
Yeah.
That's what our judicial, and then start with that. Go there. Hell, revamp the entire fucking tax code. Let's start there. That would be the smart one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Stop fucking stealing from the people. Stop extorting money. Look, I am good with the consumption tax. Consumption of goods and the use of goods and buying of things. I am not good with a property tax. I think it's bullshit. They're not maintaining the property that I'm on. I'm maintaining it.
Right.
You know? And to say that just because I don't pay a property tax, you can come just take everything that I put into
Yeah.
that property, go fuck yourself.
100%.
You're evil, you're extorting. And income tax is just modern day slavery.
Yep.
It's indentured servitude.
Yeah. Thanks,
You know.
Woodrow Wilson, you prick.
Yeah, fucking what, 1913
Yeah.
time frame?
Yeah. They,
Ridiculous. That needs to be completely repealed, taken away, and then government spending needs to be brought into check. Not let's spend more money each and every year, and we have to hit our budget, so let's have $10,000 toilets and $100,000 hammers. No, fuck that.
Yeah.
You itemize this shit for the American people, and you put it before the American people and say, this is what we need in order to run the organization and pay the
And
people.
if you have money
fair
left
wage.
over, let's
Put it into the bank.
put it back into society. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what they should be doing with it anyways.
Yeah,
It should be
100%.
going into society, and it should be Americans first, because the American people are paying for it, period.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and-
it once our needs and our infrastructure and our lives and our health and our system is taken care of and good, then we can talk to the other fucking nations of the world and we can start helping outside there. But the fact of the matter is we've got so many charities in the world that already do shit around the world like that. Take off the restrictions and allow more people to do that kind of stuff, and you're going to have the opportunities arise, and it's going to create more positions, more jobs, more everything through a free market, rather than having this fucking like rigid turning into, you know, a completely totalitarian authoritarian system. You know, we've gone completely the wrong path away from what America is supposed to be, and I think our founding fathers, had they
And that started
seen
in the Act of 1871. Whenever
incorporated
we did.
America,
we incorporated America.
Mhm. Incorporated America under the fucking crown.
Yeah.
Our judicial system
So-
is of the British.
So it was the Rothschilds.
Mhm.
It was the Rothschilds and the and the Queen of England, or the monarchy,
Yep.
and they created Washington D.C. out of that to be its own
wild.
little entity. Yeah.
You know,
So that's where it all stemmed from, but it took this long to really find out for it to actually implement into a corporate, where we see it into it.
well, it's because the information is so much easier to access now.
Yeah.
And there's so much free information flying about, which is why they're trying to limit it again.
I know.
Like, shit's getting out there, too much people. We're going to lose control. We're going to lose power.
The only way they're going to
For
really...
national security, we have to keep this secret. National security. Why? The security of the nation that sits there and robs people and enslaves people through a 37% income tax? Come on, you fucks.
I know, dude.
There's so much better ways of doing these things. There's so much better ways of getting things done. There's so much better ways of helping. You know, forced help isn't help. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Just because you think you know better for another doesn't mean you're correct. Because a lot of people in this world really fucking hate the way things are going.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know, and me personally, just as my eyes open, I become more and more despondent and, you know, to the whole entire system.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I've become, you know, because I stood libertarian most of my life, I would say, but I've become more of an anarcho-capitalist. You know, not necessarily completely anarchist. I do believe there is a need for a national defense.
Yeah, national defense, but small government.
Very, very,
local,
very small central government with very, very limited and light powers. Stop making so many fucking laws.
Yeah.
You know, stop. You can't have so many laws on the book and be called a nation of free peoples. Period. It just doesn't happen. And these people that talk about, you know, well, let's talk about the most basic freedom, the First Amendment, you know, the right to religion and freedom of speech. They sit here and they talk about how these things are, you can say what you want, but face consequences on the back end. That's not freedom. What you should have is open discourse so that you can identify those problem children. You can keep an eye on those problem children, the ones that are causing issues, but don't fuck with them. Leave them alone until they actually are showing that they are doing something, making moves to do something. You know, somebody says, I'm going to axe murder the world. Wait till they buy an axe.
Yeah.
You know? Wait till they make the moves. Stop demonizing and minority reporting people. Because that's what's happening. Where you're being tried for thought crimes anymore. You know? Which is very, very 1984. It's George Orwell, you know, straight up. And it's like they wrote the book and it was a self-fulfilling prophecy because so many people read the book.
A lot of movies, books, stuff like that is self-fulfilling prophecies.
Yes, they seem to guide society. And people will be, oh, they prophesied this. No. As soon as it was released and the idea was there, people saw it. And that once that idea became commonplace, then people made moves in order to create that self-fulfilling prophecy. Because it gave them ideas. You know?
I don't know, maybe. Or
they were prophets.
No. What I'm saying is, like, for modern movies, you know what I mean? Like, Hollywood is like huge occult. I think, you know, it's hugely into the occult and shit like that.
Right.
And they always trying to control society. I think one way or another. You know, try to control the direction into it. You know. Mm-hmm. It's not a secret. You can see that.
Well, I mean, it's completely not a secret because we sit there and fucking nation build.
Yeah.
You know?
So you have these, like, super secret societies. You know, the higher you go up, the more secretive it gets.
What do you think's the most secret society?
Well, nobody knows. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of them.
So,
you know?
like Build-A-Burger and Skull and Bones is low-end shit?
I'm going to say the low end. But, all right, so the people in the high secret society, they're still in the Build-A-Burger group. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just that there's a lot of lower people or mid-range people in the Build-A-Burger group.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So they'll go from, like, the high secret society, you know what I'm saying, with limited people in it, then have these meetings with these Build-A-Burger groups with these other societies with mid people to upper people around the world or whatever, you know what I mean? And they all kind of come up with a plan on where they're going to go, where they want society to go, where they want, you know, their ideas to go.
Well, of course, that's why they have these giant, G12 summits and shit like that.
Trilateral
Commission. Yeah.
The CF, I forget. anyway, like what I was gonna say is
The people that we consider
so
leaders.
so Hollywood, like they get these scripts or whatever in Hollywood, and they're kind of showing us, and that's how magic works. You gotta like, from what I understand,
Slowly
like,
disseminate information in order to not have it shock the populace when
Well,
it comes to light.
Well, what I've learned, like I said, man, like the only reason I'm looking into magic is because that's what they're doing.
Man,
and
I wish magic was real. I fucking really do.
But they have to tell you what they're doing,
Mhm.
and if it's kind of like how a vampire works. You got to let a vampire in. If not, they can't come in. So you have to tell them, you have to expose what your plans are, and you could be very vague about it. You know what I mean? But anyway, I think that's what movies are. You know what I mean? Telling them what they're gonna do, and that's why it's like, you know what I mean? Like 5 years down the line, you're like, oh fuck, we had a movie about that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean,
Possibly, I don't fucking know, but it's a theory.
well, yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense though, because I mean, what better way to control a populace than through what it enjoys the most, which is its entertainment, its consumption of entertainment.
That's what the Romans did.
What the who did?
Romans.
So basically, we just are a high-tech version of the Romans.
I believe. Yeah.
So they disseminate this information through plays and through,
movies and sports.
And
that's what the Romans were: plays and
big,
food and
big
sports.
figures.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm famous. I'm saying things, and you believe them.
Julius Caesar, man, he was one of the biggest fucking celebrities back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Was he an actor?
No. But
he was reading Shakespeare before Shakespeare was cool.
it's crazy, man.
It's a wild world we live in, and
it's so fascinating too, man. So fascinating. And I like looking at like weird shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes it even more fascinating.
Oh yeah, well,
because you just go to work every day, everything gets so mundane and boring. But you start looking at what's really going on, you're like, what the fuck? This is fascinating as fuck, and everybody thinks I'm crazy. But look,
so fun.
Yeah,
it's so interesting. It's intriguing.
It's
inspiring.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's so many great things that come out of it. But also so many.
I mean, you find out a lot of negative shit, man.
Horrible negative things.
And the thing is, if there's black magic out there and people doing black magic shit, which I call black magic, doing all this dark shit like we've seen, like that didn't look normal. That didn't look fucking like it was good at all. You know what I mean? And I could be wrong about that.
It just looked like a bunch of people dancing. I mean, I don't know. I don't see anything. Like if I would have seen them like splashing buckets of blood upon themselves in there, I'd have been a little more questioning of it. But I mean, it just looked like interpretive dance. It looked like they were trying to celebrate the opening of that tunnel. And they had some weird shit, but there's weird fucking artists out there. There's weird people that do extremely strange things on a regular basis that are considered art.
I think those weird artists are into
the occult and black magic and all that. But it doesn't make them magicians. It doesn't make them real.
No,
it just makes them,
man, all right. So the only reason why I think it's real is because they have these fucking, they have the information, what they have hidden in the Vatican and shit. You know what I mean? Like those fucking top fucking secret societies and shit have that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's the only reason why I think it's real, just because where they get the information from, and we don't have the information they do type shit. You know what I'm saying?
What's his name?
But I think that there's also people doing like opposite magic, white magic, good magic. You know what I mean? This combats them. If not, then we'd all be fucking.
I don't know.
Under the Nazi rule and shit.
I think if you look at Carl Sagan, for instance, Carl Sagan said that any technology, sufficiently advanced technology, is indistinguishable from magic, and I think that's what people are seeing.
Yeah, and
I think it's more technological. I think it has to do with material sciences. It falls within the realm of physics to our understanding. Anything because if it was real, I would think it would be more prevalent, and you'd see the laws of physics broke on a regular basis, and shit would just be a lot stranger than it is. Reality is very strange, don't get me wrong, but if magic was truly a real thing, reality would be far more strange than we see now.
But I think a lot of that magic isn't just like, I think it has a lot of laws to it.
I'm going to start singing a song every time I see you. Do you believe in magic?
Is that what you think of every time? I just think there's a lot of laws and rules that have limitations on what you can do with them. But
I don't know.
I don't either, man.
Show me, though. I mean, that's all it takes for me. That's why I say agnostic, is because show me. You show me different. It's kind of like, it's a scientific way of going about it. It's like I don't necessarily believe.
Yeah, but
Because it doesn't fall within the
right.
physical
okay.
realms.
Okay, I understand that, but we only see 5% of what's really going on, and with that 5% that we really see what's going on, we still have to use tools and shit to see. You know
Right.
what I mean? So there's 95% of shit we don't know. At least 95% of shit going on that we don't know about.
But even if there was magic and we figure out later on, how the fuck does the magic work? Well,
now
eventually
it's
you'll be able to measure it. You'll be able to
technology.
put data into it
Yeah.
and figure out exactly
It'll be
what's occurred.
scientific.
It'll be a scientific method
Yeah.
behind it, and you'll find the answer. Because if something occurs, you can find an answer for it.
Yeah.
Because as long as you record the data.
Or we live in such a fucking crazy real world that it's not like that.
But if infinity exists, again, rolling back to infinity, then everything that's ever happened could happen in the exact order that's happened. Plus, everything else that hasn't happened could happen in the exact order.
Also,
that it
if it's alpha, also if it's infinity, anything is possible.
anything's possible.
Yeah, anything.
Which is interesting in and of itself.
Yeah.
And that brings to the argument of a God. If infinity exists, could there be a God? Maybe that's what the God is infinity.
God isn't. I think God is infinity, and God is like we. I think we determine what God is by our emotions, by our decisions. Really, like we get old enough to just really decide. I think that's really what God is. Like they say, God is love, right? God is love.
Right.
We could either go on the left, right of that. Like every decision every major.
But you have data. That's a thing. You have an Old Testament God and a New Testament God.
Yeah.
And you have data based on those testaments. So therefore, you can
So-
decide whether this God is all loving and all blah 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 blah.
Right.
And based on the knowledge that we have and the information, not such a nice being.
Not at all, but I think those gods were not gods, but advanced beings. Like
That's me too.
Yeah,
that's where I fall on it. I think
so-
it was advanced beings.
So you know Solomon, right? Solomon. So he was the wisest. Like he God asked him like, "What do you want?" He did something for him. He gave him a decision, and he's like, "What do you want?" He's like,
Something about gold, wasn't it? Turning everything to gold.
No,
Solomon wasn't the one with the gold touch.
No, he's
Maybe
the
I'm
one.
off.
He's
Because there's a temple of Solomon in there.
Yeah. So that's where I'm getting at. And you know how he. So anyway, God, I forget what exactly happened. So anyway, what do you? God's like, I'm going to reward you with whatever you want. What do you want? He said wisdom, and he's like wisdom. But he was one of the richest. He was the richest person that ever lived. Solomon was. So anyway, he's like, wisdom. That's a good answer. You know what I mean? I'm proud of you for that. I'm gonna give you wisdom plus all the riches you ever want, right? And then he had like over 800 concubines and wives and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Where in the end, guess how he fell out of favor with God how he fell out of favor with God, because he started fucking worshiping Baal or Moloch. Isn't that fucking weird? It's fucking weird to me. But anyway, so he built this temple, right? Do you know how he built the temple? God gave an angel. I think Michael gave him a ring, right, where he could control demons, and he used demons.
Solomon's father was King David. Okay.
Yeah.
Permanent resting place for the Ark of the Covenant.
So listen, all right. So I think it was Archangel Michael or Gabriel. I can't remember. Gave him a ring to control demons, so he could control demons, and he controlled the demons to build the Solomon's temple, his temple. You know what I mean? It's the biggest, best fucking temple of that time. It's so fucking crazy, right?
So is that the Star of David?
Yes, Star of David. Yes.
Which King David makes sense.
It's his father, yeah, but that's also the pentagram, right?
The King of the Jews
or King of the Jews. It's not really a pentagram, I guess, but yeah, it kind of is, I guess.
It's two triangles.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the Seal of Solomon. That's the Star of Israel, Star of David, Star of the pentagram.
Mm-hmm.
So fucking weird, right?
6 sides, 6 points. Huh. Interesting. I've never really looked deeply into it. You have 6 points on the inside, you have 6 points on the outside, and then you have 6 walls to the internal, which 666.
Yeah.
I mean,
that has something to do with it too.
Yeah, very weird. So I think all of these ancient texts, I've always thought that they had similarities amongst one another, and it's kind of like a game of telephone, maybe.
Yeah.
That these stories pass down and they've been recorded into different areas of the world in different interpretations, and that's what we're seeing, perhaps.
100%. Yeah. Fucking King James, the compiled he got people to compile
The King James version of the Bible.
Yeah, to compile the Bible. Yeah.
Wasn't it Emperor Constantine who brought that together first?
Constantine, he was a pagan in Rome, right?
That wanted to unify.
He said he had a dream and said, Christianity is the way to go. Jesus is the way to go. So he turned all of Rome Christian.
Right, because
that's where Christianity
I
really
think
spread.
He also took the teachings of Tutankhamun's father, who is they called him the heretic king, and because the heretic king, I can't remember his name, wanted to unify all the gods under one god, Ra, the sun god. And then Constantine took pieces of that and converted it into what the current Christianity or Catholicism.
Yeah. But all right, so they found evidence,
like
they found archaeological evidence that even though he made everybody persuade everybody to go to Christian, there was also temples right next to these Christian temples where Constantine would go and worship to these fucking pagan gods. So he never really was converted to the evidence shows that he was never converted to Christian himself, that he still continued.
Kind of like the Vikings continued to worship the pagan gods.
But look, all of our Christian rituals and our Christian holidays, they're just old pagan religions.
Right.
Is all they are. You
right.
know what I mean?
Well,
so that makes a lot of sense, really.
Right. Well, and then the Christmas tree, that's a pretty interesting one because they consider that the birth of Christ, Christmas, the birth of Christ and all that, but it's really a pagan holiday. And the red and white mushrooms, the Amanita muscaria, and shamans and all of that.
And if you look like
there was a dude that climbed down chimneys too, like a pagan dude, I think, back in the day. I went down that rabbit hole many years ago. I forget. Me too. I'm rusty.
Yeah, so am I. But anyway, King James. All right, he compiled the fucking Bible.
Right.
And the Bible, like back in that day, whatever, homosexuality was like a sin, right? It always kind of has been in Christianity.
Right.
Well, King James was fucking bisexual, like openly.
Was he really?
Yeah, openly bisexual. So the whole reason that he compiled that Bible.
1604. Our current Bible is from 1604.
And there were so many typos whenever they first made the Bible.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, a ton of them. But anyway, the reason why he compiled the Bible was to control the people. That's the whole reason why he did it
as well. I believe Constantine, that's why he adopted Christianity, because they had hell and the people kept rebelling, and they were like, look, you guys fucking keep doing this, you're going to end up in the bad place. But if you guys are good to each other and you're good to us and you pay your taxes, then you go to the good place and you get a mansion. And people are like, oh, we get a mansion? So they started offing themselves, and they're like, no, you can't fucking off yourself. You got to pay your taxes.
Yeah.
And then be good people while you're here, and then you get to go get a mansion. If you kill yourself, that's the bad thing, and you go to the bad place.
Right.
I thought
that's either Constantine or King James, but I know that
either way we're talking shit.
Well, I know for a fact that King James, man, he was a fucking bisexual, and you know what I mean, that he did use it to control the people,
Right.
But that's those times, that's 1600 compared to
it's only 400 years ago.
You know, 0 to 0 years. You know what I mean? From King James to Constantine, there's a big spread.
Right.
So I'm sure he had the same problem in a different time in a different place. You know what I mean? So
all rulers have.
Yeah. That kind of problem. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at us.
Yeah.
We're
sort
of uprising against.
Yeah. God damn it. We have what the fuck?
Oh, it's just the ghost.
I know it, man. I know it. I feel the presence. Anyway,
No, it's the heat differential. It's so fucking hot in here versus out there. The heat's trying to get out, so it's moving that door.
All right, let me backtrack and think. We're talking about Saturnalia. All right, the
isn't that Saturn?
That's the worship of Saturn. That's where really Christmas came from. So you had 12 days where the slaves of Rome would actually be the owners You know what I mean? Like they
Oh, they reverse
switches,
and you get 12 days, and they
12
would
days.
they beat the owners.
And no, well, they didn't. They just fucking partied, dude. It was a 12.
Oh shit!
That was a 12-day long party. All right, of nothing but debauchery, and all the politicians and shit of the time, they went and hid.
Well, the slaves went.
Well, all these motherfuckers. But it wasn't just the slaves; it was the owners too. They were like real
Right.
cool with each other. They weren't like fucking like it was in the fucking 1700s and shit here in America. You know what I mean? They were actually pretty civil to
Right.
each other, from what I understand. I'm not 100%
Right.
sure about that. But anyway, it was just one big fucking like orgy fucking drinking party. You know what I mean? Like they were fucking getting fucked up all over the streets for 12 days.
Damn.
You know what I mean? That's where 12 Days of Christmas actually came from.
Oh,
And that's the
On
Saturn.
the
That's
first
the
day of Christmas, I had a couple shots.
So yeah, it was pretty crazy, man. And then it did have something to do with like exchanging gifts for 12 days. I can't remember exactly.
We
what
need
that
to
was.
do the 12 shots of Christmas from now on.
Starting January 2nd.
Just kidding.
That's all the way down. 12 shots until Christmas every
12
day.
shots every day till Christmas. Hey guys.
Oh, imagine what your tolerance. Well, imagine what your liver would be after that.
Oh, dude, it'd melt my liver. I drink a lot the way it is. I probably shouldn't
Yeah.
drink as much,
I
but
wish I had a beer now.
I know. I'm out.
Yeah, me too.
I
wish
ran
I'd have
dry.
brought some, man.
Well, maybe that's what we'll have to make sure that on podcast days,
Yeah.
one of us brings beer.
Yeah.
I should have just went and picked some up today. I was just wrapped up doing some other shit.
Yeah, I
Things.
I
and
got up.
stuff.
I woke up late because I got off this morning and blah blah blah, and
Yeah.
just wanted to get here before it got too late. I
Well,
don't know, man. My wife's supposed to be here. I guess she left me here.
she's like, fuck him.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So
No. We had a good time on vacation, though. Man, I had a
Yeah.
fucking blast. It was a
Oh.
good time.
it's so beautiful out there, man.
Oh, yeah.
So beautiful.
It was nice. It just so on the way back, it was just the right time. Because when we were driving down there, it was the middle of the night when we
Yeah.
ran through Orlando. And we were like, nah, not going to stop at the middle of the night, in Orlando. But
Yeah, you have to go see your friend, huh?
well, yeah, because I got a hold of him while we were down there in the Keys. And he was like, oh, yeah, I'm up in Orlando. That's when I literally found out where he lived. I was like, oh, shit, we'll be driving back up through there so-and-so day. And he said,
Hell
stop by. So,
Hell yeah.
it was, man, his fucking studio is so nice. It's so beautiful.
What kind of studio? Like house or podcast studio? What are you talking
No,
about?
he's
Studio?
got a whole entire like newsroom, and I mean,
And he creates apps. Is that all he
yeah,
does?
he's got My Radar as his app.
Just one? Is that all he has, or what?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but he does a bunch of different things with it. He's got a ton of irons in the fire, as one might say, and just some of the coolest shit you ever heard of.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's got one of them that I think I'm okay to talk about is these little geosats that he's got. They're little 5 centimeter by 5 centimeter satellites, and they had to be tested to make sure that they could be tracked.
Oh, for weather?
Yeah, well, more than just weather. They're different. They can basically detect like plants that aren't hydrated enough, dead area, lots of crazy cool shit. I mean, he would have to explain it. I invited him out. He said he'll come on the podcast sometime. And
Oh, fuck yeah.
yeah, he'll talk about it. But he's got so many cool things going on. But these little 5 centimeter by 5 centimeter satellites are fucking trackable, and the U.S. government does it for free. That small thing floating around in space at however fast it's moving, they can keep an eye on that motherfucker. So what kind of technology do we really have?
Yeah.
And why don't we know more than we do? Because if we could apply some, I can just think of some of the technologies that it would take to track that motherfucker, and you applied it to looking down in the jungle or looking down in the ocean, you could fucking map so much more than they already do. So much more. You could map this entire ocean floor within, a short period of time if you have that kind of true fucking technology that can track a 5 centimeter or 5 centimeter, which is why I go, shit's a little funky over there in the offices and the Pentagon and that shit. They have technologies and things that we just cannot comprehend at this point. Even us, with what we see before us. I bet they have technologies that we go, what?
Yeah. Yeah, like, they got some secret shit in Area 51, but, there's more secret shit than that we don't even know about. Nobody knows
I'm
about
sure
it,
there's
you know what I'm
bases we don't even
Yeah,
know the
that's what I
name
mean.
of.
And then they have way more
Look
secret shit.
at Antarctica, for instance. There's always talk of secret bases in Antarctica.
Oh, yeah, dude, that's some shit that I really like to
I would really
dive
love to
into.
figure that out. I would love to know more.
Me too, man. Me too. Like, how much of that is is melting right now, and what is it? What's being discovered since the melt?
I don't know. There's pyramid structures,
I've heard,
you know.
but nobody talks about it. It's like nothing. Nobody. You don't get any stories on it really.
Well, of course, mainstream media puts things
I know.
to bed. They don't let you know the real stuff. And then the crazy people come out of the woodworks and they report they're made to be crazy. They're told they're crazy and they're conspiracy theorists and stuff, but maybe some of them are reporting real shit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit that's probably very, very fabricated, but there's still people out there doing legitimate research and, finding legitimate answers and being shut the fuck down.
I know, man. That's a problem, though, man. It's a lot of that misinformation and fabrications and.
Why the fuck can't people just be honest?
I don't know. They're
Look at that shit. Like, really? I mean, yeah, it's a mountain, but
yeah.
that looks.
It's not
It's
natural.
real suspicious.
Yeah.
Just the way it looks.
One right next to it.
Yeah, and there's that little guy there.
I wonder if that whenever that was built, I wonder, like, because the pyramids they point up towards the Orion, and like different pyramids point to different constellations. I wonder what that pointed to back in.
I don't know. I'd love to know exactly
You know,
where it is
yeah.
located on the
Do you
continent.
think we could find it in Google Earth?
Let's find out.
But
Oh,
Antarctica, Antarctica, pyramids, whatever. Pyramid Island, Antarctica. Did you see that?
I did see that. Oh shit, the pyramid. There it is. Right near the shore, right near water. Oh, I'm.
Nothing but white.
Yeah. Do you know what's really easy to make? White.
White, yeah. And look right here. That looks like a impact.
Yeah, this looks all weird melted rock.
Yeah.
This isn't from tectonic activity. This is melted rock that's reformed. Oh, is that it? Maybe this is the shape of it. Look at that. It's not a perfect. Yeah, this has got to be it because this would be the small one on the side. So it's not even really shaped like a pyramid on the whole thing. It's just got some strange sides to it. But this does. I mean, and this is right in that area. Is that right where that blow through is? Or is that? Oh no, the blow throughs. Oh, but look at where it is located. Where all that melted rock is. That looks like melted rock. Where? Oh shit. No, stop, fucker. So, Vanuatu, Fiji, all those places, really suspiciously close to right there. And you have some strange melted rock. Who knows? Maybe somebody threw a giant asteroid at us, or maybe it was some big-ass nukes. Maybe there was a space battle. I don't know, but it looks like something big impacted here. That's all I know. Because that doesn't happen unless there is something missing in order. There had to be a big hole. There had to be a big hole to fill up to create whirlpools of land. You don't get fucking whirlpools of land unless you have rotation.
Yeah.
Land doesn't just do that. And that's definitely rotating.
What's the? I don't know, man.
It's fucking weird.
The hole, man.
And could you imagine the fire hurricanes? They'd be like Cat 15 hurricanes. Those don't exist, but
Yeah.
and the amount of the turbulence in
But-
the atmosphere it would create. Jesus.
Well, I mean, like you could see by the shelves it built, or
Mhm.
the wall that it built.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like those are hurricanes that we've never seen before.
Right. And the amount of water just moving.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that asteroids and meteors, whatever, throughout the years have formed our Earth what it is right now, like the land masses and shit like that.
Has to be.
Yeah.
I don't think plate tectonics explains it.
Not,
Billions of years they've been sliding around plate tectonics. Yeah, it exists, but it's not the main mover.
not the main mover.
Something.
It helps.
Yeah.
It's kind of like everything, man. Everything's like the truth is always somewhere in the middle. A little bit of everything. you
Right.
know?
And I mean, look
But
at
there
that.
is there are forces that
Boom.
that do overcome.
The land of Mu could have existed. It could be gone. You know? Whole bunches of it's just so fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think Graham Hancock, if I remember right, he in his day did a lot of underwater scuba diving and exploring.
Yes,
and
I've seen
finding
some of his
a ton of ancient civilizations and relics and shit.
See, and this looks like they used to be closer together anyways. So
Oh yeah,
when they
100%.
when they talk about fucking Atlantis being in a certain area, I mean, look at that. That fits there.
Yeah, it's all Pangea.
That fits.
You know Pangea, right?
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
It was the one single massive continent.
And
But you can see where they connected on this side, but they sure as fuck don't match on this side. This is just torn asunder.
because they didn't. They weren't
Torn.
connected on that side.
They were destroyed, and I think when the impact occurred and the Mid-Atlantic Ridge happened here, when that cracked apart, that's when these continents started drifting apart
So-
from one another.
So
This impact caused this.
So what about the moon?
The moon,
The moon.
it's made out of cheese. That's all there is to it.
It's hollow, dude.
It rang like a bell. The motherfucking moon rang like a bell. They impacted it with something, and it bong.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
And if it rang like a bell, that means it's all metal.
or
Right.
something. It vibrates.
Everything
And-
vibrates.
Maybe where they hit had a big hollow spot. I don't know.
And if it was to ring like a bell, it wouldn't be enclosed, right? Because you hit something hollow, it doesn't really ring like a bell. A bell has like
Well-
an opening. You see what I'm saying?
Imagine something floating in space, not touching anything. So take a steel ball, like a hollow steel ball, and if you pink it, it rings a little bit, but it stops ringing because your hands are holding it. Imagine
absorbs
that.
it.
Yeah, imagine it floating freely in space. Ping it, nothing to stop the vibrations. It would just go for hours.
I don't know. But it wouldn't ring like a bell.
They just they
It would
explained it
vibrate,
that
yeah.
way. Yeah, but it rang. It vibrated.
I don't know, man. Because it would absorb itself because it's all connected. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Different frequencies do different things. You can get resonance frequencies of anything. If you have the right resonance frequency of anything, you can make something vibrate at that frequency. That's what's very interesting about everything, is everything has a resonance. You just got to find that frequency. And it's all breaks down. Lights are a wave and a particle, and sound's a wave. Everything seems to come down to waves. Everything.
Waves.
Waves. Frequencies. Yep.
369.
What is the deal behind Nikola Tesla's 369? I've never really known that. I know 9, base numbers of 9 is something very interesting in math. It makes math very much easier when you understand it.
I watched watched or listened to really good explanations on it. I almost understood them, but I didn't understand them. And I forgot where I watched them.
I'll have to check them out.
I'll find them. I'll find them because I have them at work.
Yeah.
The videos on my work. I'll fucking send them to you, man.
It's so funny because
And one of them's like, 369. The other one's like, 369, but also 12. But Tesla didn't want to give that out or something like that.
really,
Yeah.
I wish we could see Nikola Tesla's writings. All of them.
Yeah, thanks, United States government, you fucks.
Hiding shit away. See, that shit should be fucking common knowledge after a certain period of time. Yeah, Nikola Tesla wrote it, but he died destitute in a hotel room.
Yeah. He was in love with a goddamn pigeon before he died. His only friend.
That's crazy.
I know.
Wild. Hey, I'm friends with a Dorkin Shepherd. He's not my only friend, but pretty close. Well, shit. I feel this was pretty productive.
Yeah,
today
dude, it was a
myself.
long one. It was a good
Yeah.
one.
Phil, we covered the basis of broken-mindedness.
Yeah,
Start-
we'll look into 369, see what we can't find.
Yeah, I'd like to look a little
See
bit
if-
deeper into that stuff. It's always good. I'm
Secrets
sure
of
a
the-
lot of the shit we'll repeat and talk about multiple times,
Yeah.
but it just helps formulate and especially bouncing ideas off of another person and be able to talk back and forth.
100%, man.
You can sit there and you can just iron them out,
Yeah.
getting another viewpoint, and who knows, maybe we can get some comments in this, in the videos and have some people say, well, actually,
Oh, that'd be awesome, dude.
I know.
Yeah, we just need an audience for that.
come on, guys, like, share, subscribe. Chronicles of a Broken Mind. This is
Yeah.
Anthony. I'm Lee.
Yep.
Thanks for hanging, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yep. Thank you.